You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. We are in this thing. You feel me? We are back, baby. Oh my goodness. This is the first show of the 2026 and we in the mix. Oh my goodness, man. Feels good to be back. Feel good to be back. You know what I'm saying? We are here, man. Shout out to y'all that's pulling up, man. I appreciate that. I apologize for being gone for a minute, but I got to get my schedule back together. We gonna get into that as well. But before we do, you know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brethren and sisters and hermanos, mi hermanas, homies and homettes, dudes and dudettes, ladies and lads, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. Doctor's in the house. Let's get it, man. Let's get it, man. Shout out to my brother Thomas, man. Mr. Thomas. He said the real is back. You know what it is. Let's get right, man. We have Mr. Thomas in the building. Thomas Hill, a.k.a. Trio, in the building, man. T. Hill in the building. We have my brother, my partner, my pal from the bodega. You know what I'm saying? Haitian, American, República de Dominicana. My brother, Ty Morissette, in the building. We got Mr. Anubis, tell me how you do this, in the building. Man, it feels good to be back, man. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back, you know. Who's in between, though? Yay, who's in between? You know what I'm talking about? Schedule up, schedule up. Yeah, we have to switch up the schedule a little bit. You know, before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and thank the Most High. We're going to go ahead and thank the Most High, you know. Got to thank the Most High. And Mr. Thomas is going to let me know what he talking about. Who's in between, though? What you talking about? But yeah, we go ahead and thank the Most High, you know, for the first time on the stream of the 2026. You know, let's go ahead and bow our heads. Please join me if you indulge in the faith. If you don't, sit back, have a coconut smile. We'll be back with you shortly. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right to it. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for bringing us into 2026. We thank you for everything that transpired in 2025, the good times, the bad times, the high times, the low times, because it always builds our character and makes us stronger, you know. And we just want to be appreciative of that and the fact that we made it to another year. And we can always find things to complain about, but we could always also find things to be grateful for. We should always be as excited and enthused to find things that we're grateful for as we are to find things that we are a little disappointed in, you know. So we just want to thank you for getting us through 2025, and we want to thank you for the things that we look forward to that you will bring us through in 2026 and the new heights that we will elevate to in 2026, Lord. So please alleviate the pressure that we have, the burden that we have on our backs when it comes to stressful thoughts or any types of illnesses or sicknesses, or we're worried about our family members or our loved ones. Just give us the solace that we have the Most High that could conquer everything. Any giant, there's no giant big enough, there's no wall strong enough, and there's nothing vicious, there's no enemy vicious enough to stand up against us when we have the good Lord on our side. And we do have the good Lord on our side because that's what you promised us. So we thank you for that, Lord. We ask you for a blessed 2026, and yeah, just be prosperous. And we send our condolences for those that didn't make it, but let us live it up for them the most in 2026. In their memory, in their honor, through Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Let's get right to it, man. We got my brother Oscar Perez, mi hermano carnal, el jefe in the building. Let's go, man. Thomas, and I guarantee it. Okay, Chuck. Charles Barkley, you feel me? But look, oh my goodness, OGO in the building, man. Good to see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? We got OGO, Oster 140. You know what I'm saying? Looking spotty. I see you, my brother, in the building. Shout out to Oscar Perez, man. He re-upped that membership, renewed that membership, going 10 months strong, man. Thank you so much, man, for rocking with me all along. Renewing that membership, committed for another 30 days, said he's not going nowhere.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on!
Yes, sir. He said, well, guess who's back again? Come on now. Shady's back. Hey, tell a friend. Shout out to my brother Ty, man. Renewing his membership for 13 months at the PhD in boxing talk level. That's the big boy he's coming through, man. Renewing that membership. I appreciate you. That's the big boy hit, bro. PhD? Nah, my boy coming through like a boss. Yes, sir, man. We back. Yes, sir, man. We back at it like Crackmatics. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Ty in the building, man. Look, man. So I appreciate that love, man. The big boy heat with the PhD in boxing talk, man. Shout out to Oscar for renewing his membership at the boxing talk graduate level. Shout out to my brother Ty for renewing his membership at the PhD in boxing talk level. Shout out to my brother Oster for being a big member, man. What's good, everybody? Now, look, we have a lot of things to talk about, but let's first get to the schedule, right? I switched up my schedule, not too much. Monday's going to stay the same, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We turning up, we live. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We turn up, we live. But unfortunately, on Wednesday, we're no longer doing the 10 o'clock morning show. That's also going to shift to 7 p.m. So we're going to go live 3 times a week for the show, and always provide commentary on the weekends, you know, Saturday and all those good things and bonbons. But, you know, we are changing all the shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to accommodate my new work schedule. You know, your boy then got a gig, you know, so I won't go into too further details because yeah, it's like in the, you know, in public service and stuff like that. And I don't want nobody to come back and try to bite back at me for things I say while expressing my boxing talk thoughts. You know, I'm talking about they try to hold things against you. You feel me? They ain't going to get your boy, you know. So, but just know that the schedule's changed. And unfortunately, I probably won't be able to do like the Japan shows on a Tuesday. We might not have the club going up on a Tuesday anymore, unfortunately, because I got to be up early in the morning while you're yawning. And then I come back, you know, later on in the evening. So just had to get acclimated to my schedule a little bit. So I feel like I am pretty comfortable now. So we're going to get back to it, man. I apologize for the absence. But yeah, the real is back, like my brother T Hill says. We back. You know, we gave a lot of people a lot of time to do some catching up, you know, to do some nonsense, kicking out their nonsense and all that shenanigans that they throw out there. Now we back to get some straight into this real boxing talk. You see what I'm saying? So we back, baby. So I appreciate y'all being patient with all that good stuff. And I'm going to drop a post and let y'all know as well. But, you know, I just want to get my things together and stuff like that. But we are back here. So, hey, Let's get it, man. We're going to bring the energy like we always do. That's all we do, baby. So let's get right to it. Let's start off, man. Oscar Perez says, I didn't know Matias and Munguia got the same training regimen when it comes to, defense. When it comes to the defense, it's crazy. Yeah, man. Shout out to Munguia, man. Speaking of Munguia, speaking of Matias, man. Matias, let's get right to it, man. We saw Dalton Smith do his thing. I'm talking about ring, dang, dong, knocking bells. You see what I'm saying? He had Subriel Matias out in the 5th, bro. Out in the 5th. And I want to say this, right? There's nothing wrong with Matias getting stopped. Dalton Smith is a big puncher. We knew that going in, right? We know that he didn't have anybody on the from an experience standpoint, a personnel standpoint. We wouldn't say that he beat anybody that was like, oh, super impressive. But we know that he has power, right? He stopped Jose Zepeda to the body, right? He has knocked out quite a few people. So we know he wasn't lacking in the power department, but what we weren't sure of was his power going to translate in skill. And Subriel Matias, I don't want to take anything away from Dalton Smith, but we know what Subriel Matias is going to do. He's going to come forward, try to out pressure you and try to outman you, try to out muscle you, try to take your shots and give you his shots. And he's betting on the fact that he could take your shots better than you could take his shots. That didn't work for Dalton Smith in this case, because Dalton Smith was able to take his shots and he was taking some shots now. Subriel Matias was getting to him. It was looking shaky, baby. It was looking shaky, but Dalton Smith, you know, he used not only his power in his fist, but he also used his intelligence, right? He clinched when appropriate. He kind of made it a little ugly when appropriate. You know what I'm saying? I personally, some people are saying he excessively held. I don't think it was excessive, but could the referee warn him? He could have, but I thought it was okay. You know, he just did what he thought he could do and what he could get away with, and he was right? Because I know Subriel Matias was complaining a lot, but that's the problem when you're kind of one-dimensional. Subriel Matias has to know how to keep punching and stop somebody from coming in and excessively clinching as well. You know, you have to be a little slick or be a little, I don't want to say evasive, but have a little mobility on you to create that extra space and lump him up and thump him up while he's coming in trying to clinch. You see, he wasn't able to do that. And we kind of saw that he wasn't able to do that when Liam Paul got to him, right? Liam Paul would actually make Subriel Matias what? Stop and reset, because Subriel Matias wants to get in the rhythm and come forward. Liam Paul was knocking him off his pivot, knocking him off his rhythm, making it uncomfortable for him. And that's what Liam Paul was doing. And Dalton Smith, albeit Dalton Smith he's not as good of a boxer as Liam Paul, but he still kind of took that blueprint. It was like, okay, bet I could get off punches and kind of clinch, get out, kind of reset, get off my punches. I might take a few punches because he was taking some punches. But Dalton Smith, like I said, Dalton Smith, I would say he's probably I don't know if he's I would say he's a bigger puncher than Liam Paul, but what he does, he sits on his punches more than Liam Paul as well. I think Liam Paul is more of a more skillful boxer than Dalton Smith. He's more of a brawler, but he also showed that he's a better boxer than Subriel Matias. And not to mention with the PEDs, right? Subriel Matias he was looked at like a boogeyman. No problem, right? A lot of people didn't want to fight him. I think the current IBF champion, Richard Hitches, I would not say that Richard Hitches ever ducked Subriel Matias because his mandatory was never called. But I will say that Richard Hitches wasn't enthusiastic about fighting Subriel Matias when Subriel Matias was the IBF champion. So I wouldn't say that he was ducking him, but I would say that he wasn't too enthused about fighting him. Same with Teofimo Lopez, right? Teofimo Lopez and Subriel Matias were supposed to fight, but Subriel Matias actually injured his hand to where we got that boring, terrible trash can of a fight of Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz.
Know your fucking place, trash.
That fight was garbage, but it was because Subriel Matias hurt his hand, and so Teofimo fought Jermaine Ortiz, right? But that fight was never revisited by Teofimo Lopez, even with Subriel Matias calling him Teofimo Pose. You know, he said that, and he slapped Teofimo upside his head top. We still didn't make that fight. So Subriel Matias was kind of looking like a boogeyman. People weren't too excited to fight him, with the exception of Esau Pitbull Cruz said he'll fight him and stuff like that. But people weren't really beating on Subriel Matias' door to fight him, right? But I feel like the boogeyman, I never bought into the boogeyman label. I like Subriel Matias, never bought into the boogeyman label, right? Not just because I picked Liam Paul to beat Subriel Matias, but I think sometimes we kind of toss out these things all willy-nilly, these labels, and we throw these titles on these guys because they don't get a fight that we want immediately. I don't think he's a boogeyman. I never thought he was a boogeyman, but I do think he was a formidable force. I still think he will be a formidable force moving forward, but I think the blueprint on how to beat him is out there, and I think that he'll be less formidable. I'm not going to say that he's done, but I think that losing to Dalton Smith, not saying Dalton Smith's bad, but when you also couple that with losing to Liam Paul and the fact that he also lost to Petros Ananyan, although he did avenge that Ananian lost. He still had it. It's just when people kind of, you're at the world-class level, right? You have world-class fighters and world-class trainers, right? So when you have these guys and seeing these things and they could look at the tape and they can see how to beat you, they can implement their own game plan and their own style how to beat you, and you're not really versatile to switch up your game plan, which Subriel Matias isn't, is going to be harder to bounce back. He already bounced back from Petros Ananian. He bounced back from Liam Paul when I thought that he won a fight that was very close against Alberto Puello. I thought Puello should have won, but it was a close fight, could have went either way. I'm not complaining. But he bounced back from then, from Petros Ananian, bounced back from Liam Paul loss, and now is he going to be able to bounce back from Dalton Smith? I don't know. 3 times a charm, we shall see. Ty says pause. What did I say, bro? I'm getting paused already. My first day back. Oh, Lord.
No, did he?
Yeah, we going to pause that. I don't know what I said, but I would trust my boy Ty. I know I say some crazy stuff. Shout out to my guy, George, the last Dragonborn. Good evening, my brother. Shout out to you, man. George, the last Dragonborn in the building. Good to see you, brother. And shout out to Oscar Perez. Oscar Perez says, I don't think Matias had a bad fight. I agree. Smith just had a better one, in my opinion. I agree with that. I don't think that Dalton Smith had I don't think Subriel Matias had a great fight. I don't think Subriel Matias had a bad fight. I just think Dalton Smith, I wouldn't even say, to be honest, I wouldn't even say Dalton Smith had a great fight. I just think he had a better fight. I'm in concurrence with Oscar Perez. I don't think Dalton Smith necessarily had a great fight because, like I said, he was getting thumped on too. Let's not get it twisted. There was a couple times when Dalton Smith looked like he could have been up out of there. It was looking shaky. It looked like it was only a matter of time for he was getting worn down as well. But it was a great fight, and I love that Dalton Smith, he didn't shell up. He didn't go for the no mas, right? He didn't let no mas TS come out. He bet on himself, and he stood in that paint, and you saw, right? When, bro, everybody gets hit. You can't always bet on getting hit and being able to outlast the other guy's hits, right? Because it is gonna chink away at your armor, right? And that's what Dalton Smith did essentially, and he hit him with a 1-2. That was it. And you can see from Dalton Smith was kind of shocked that he hurt Subriel Matias that bad. Not saying that he wasn't confident that he could do it. Obviously he was, but I'm saying that at the moment when he hurt him, Dalton Smith wasn't really expecting it, but because he was hitting him cleanly so much, you know, the accumulation of punches, and when he hit him right when Subriel Matias thought he was about to let off a shot. What do we say? The shots that you don't see coming are the ones that get that head thumbing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm thumbing. So that head was just ringing, and one more shot and he was down. Now I will say the Subriel Matias defense, I personally thought the stoppage was I don't want to say premature because I don't want to take away anything from Dalton Smith, but I thought it happened a little bit. I thought he should have been given a chance, right? Because Subriel Matias was the WBC champion. Subriel Matias is known as a tough guy. So I'm not saying that Dalton Smith, I don't think the outcome would have changed. I think the outcome would have been the same. But with that being said, it doesn't matter what I think. I do think even more than that, that Subriel Matias should have been given the opportunity to continue because he did beat the count. He got up and he beat the count. You know what I'm saying? And he stumbled a little bit, but he beat it and he was up and he wanted to go again. I think that he deserved the opportunity to at least get put in a bad position again, just because he is a champion, just because it is his, you know, he was the A side, he was the favorite. So I thought that he deserved a little bit more of a better look, but I'm not complaining, you know. But I think, and if he would have got that, I think Dalton Smith would have just dropped him again. So, you know, you can kind of look at it how you want. But I will say this, though. I don't think Subriel Matias is the boogeyman. I never thought he was. And the fact that he was on PEDs, I know that it was a minuscule amount. It was a trace amount, a real trace amount, not like the Ryan Garcia trace amount. It was really a trace amount. It was below the allowable limit of 0.1 nanograms per milliliter. He tested at 0.085, so he was good to fight. That's why the fight still commenced. But I want to salute Dalton Smith for not popping dirty and fighting a guy when he could have really backed out because he had it in his system. Hence, Subriel Matias is on probation, right? So he really popped dirty. He was dirty. He had it in his system, but it was a so low of amount that they let the fight commence, and Dalton Smith still beat him. So shout out to Dalton Smith for that. You know, that's real of him. And shout out to Subriel Matias. I will still show him some love for it because it could be contamination. But what I don't like about Subriel Matias, and it's not a Ryan Garcia situation. Let me repeat that. It's not like Ryan Garcia, but he still had it in the system. So he is a cheater by definition.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
Shout out to Ramirez Boxing, man. I appreciate you, man. So he says it's his first time watching. Welcome, man. Welcome to the Boxing Talk family. Hopefully you enjoy your stay here, man. We love to talk real boxing, and yeah, we just get it in, man, from an unbiased, objective, educated, and funny point of view, man. Shout out to my brother Clone in the building. My guy, big member in the building. He said, I respect that, Doc. You want to see brutality. No, I don't think it was a bad stoppage, but I think that Subriel Matias, like I said, people think I don't like Subriel Matias because I reported his positive test. I like Subriel Matias, but I didn't like the way Subriel Matias handled the situation. Like, shout out to my brother George, the last Dragonborn, with the 99 cents, dropping the dollar sticker on your boy. I appreciate that. Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. It's not that I want to see a brutality, right? It is a brutal sport. I do think as a champion, you deserve a chance if you beat the count. Like, you know, like I do think that, so, hey man, these guys, some of them are really, they're all warriors. You step in that ring, you're a warrior, but some of them are warriors to the 10th degree, to where they want to keep going as much as they can. And we have seen fights like the late great Diego Corrales versus Castillo, right? We seen that. If that would have been stopped, we wouldn't have seen that magical comeback, right? Look at Fabio Worthy. Not saying Fabio Worthy was ever in super bad trouble like that against Justice Hooney, but look at that comeback, one punch. Sometimes all it takes is one punch, and I think that Dalton Smith, if I'm Subriel Matias, I'm just saying, if I was in his shoes, if I'm Subriel Matias, I'd be like, dang, man, I wish I would have got a little bit of another chance. But at the same time, too, maybe the referee, I'm not saying the referee did wrong, and maybe the referee saved him, because you could get hurt. You know what I'm saying? We know Subriel Matias asked Maxim Dadashev, right? Rest in peace, Maxim Dadashev, who fought Subriel Matias. He actually died as a result of being in there too long. So I'm not mad at the ref. I commend the ref. I'm not saying the referee did wrong, but in my personal opinion, as a champion, as a guy who's known as a pressure fighter, a tough guy, I would have liked to give him another opportunity to see what he could have done. And like I said, I don't think the outcome would have changed, but just to give him that, man, I think he deserves that as a champion. Now, how Subriel Matias handled the PED situation, I didn't like it. You see, because he was, it could have been accidental. It could have been contamination. I'm not saying whether it was or it wasn't. What I'm saying is that it's not my fault for reporting it. It's not all casino high rollers' fault for reporting it. It's not Ty's fault for seeing the test. It's not Vada's fault. It's not Eddie Hearn's fault. You may feel like that, you may want to lash out, but you have to take accountability, because the system that they found the banned substance in is your body. You are responsible for what goes in your body. Negligence is not an excuse. So even if it was contamination, maybe he ate some tacos on a Tuesday, maybe he ate some macaroni and cheese and spaghetti from his favorite pasta shop, maybe he ate some jollof rice, you know what I'm saying, from Nigeria, maybe he ate some ackee and saltfish from Jamaica, you feel me? Maybe he ate some, I don't know, some good pho, you know, or pho, you know, or Chinese food, you know, or maybe he went to Vietnam and got some pho and it had these substances in it. But it's not our fault. You failed the test, bro. So you got to look at yourself, look at your team, look at your strength and conditioning coach, look at your nutritionist, look at the stuff that you ate. You see what I'm saying? Do not get mad at people for reporting the fact that you failed the test. That is what my occupation is. That's what I love. I'm gonna tell people about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Him and his fan base. Fans are short for fanatics, so I don't blame them. But the way he handled, like, oh, people are against them, people are sabotaging. No, bitch, it's you, bro. You failed the test, bro. Take some accountability. You might not have did it intentionally, and I salute you if you didn't. It was a trace amount, but still, you cannot get mad at people for saying, "Hey, man, I'm privy to the fact that you failed the test." And shout out to Dalton Smith for still going with the fight. The reason why I thought that this took a lot of steam and it soured the fight a little bit, it took a lot of steam off the fight, is because if Dalton Smith would have lost, you better believe Eddie Hearn would have said, "Oh, we fought a PED cheater," right? That would have been their excuse. And if Dalton Smith would have won, let's say by decision, then I was fully prepared for Subriel Matias and their team to say, "Oh, you know, the judges were against us, just like they're against us with this test, and you know, my mind wasn't on things." But the way Dalton Smith ended it, ain't no controversy, baby. He ended it with a stoppage. Can't nobody say nothing. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Dalton Smith. We have another fighter from the UK that's a belt holder. You know, you have Jazza Dickens at the WBA 130-pound belt holder. You have Nick Ball for the UK, WBA again at 126, right? Featherweight. You got Lewis Crocker. He's from Ireland, but that's UK, right? For the IBF belt at 147, right? I feel like I'm missing something. Fabio Worthy, another Englishman, you know what I'm saying? UK badman for the WBO heavyweight title. I might be missing somebody, but forgive me if I am. But, you know, so shout out to the UK. I love to see the fighters and different regions get represented for the championships. Like we have a lot of American fighters that are champions, you know what I'm saying? Big up America, you know. You have the Haitian American, Richardson Hitchens at the IBF 140. I'm not gonna go through everybody. We have the Honduran American, Teofimo Lopez at WBO 140. Even though I don't like Teofimo, he's still American. Shout out to Mario Barrios, American WBC belt holder. Benavidez, Mexican American, Ecuadorian, light heavyweight WBC champion. So I like to see the you know, we got a lot of Japanese champions, a lot of Mexican champions. I love to see the belts get spread out because I just think it's a better environment for boxing, man. Big up boxing as a whole. But as far as Janabek goes, is why I have him on the picture. I have Subriel Matias. We got to clean up boxing, man. We got to stop getting mad at people for calling out people that have popped dirty. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what upholds the integrity, sanctity, and the purity of the sport. I know boxing is already fragmented. I know boxing is like the wild, wild west, a very chaotic sport, but we can at least try to keep it clean, you know, and hold fighters accountable for popping dirty, man. Stop blaming the like. I've never seen in any other sport where somebody cheats or does wrong, we blame the person that they're fighting. Like, look how much hate and flack that Devin Haney got because Ryan Garcia cheated him, and he was 60 times over the allowable limit of Osterine, right? He came in at 6 nanograms per milliliter. The allowable limit by the New York State Athletic Commission is 0.1 nanograms per milliliter. That's 60 times above the allowable limit, and people are hating on Devin Haney like he did something wrong. Ryan Garcia failed the test. Janabek and Limkanuli didn't fight Erislandy Lara because he failed the test and he tested positive for meldonium. Subriel Matias, it may have been a small amount. Shout out to him. We should mention that, right? Because it was under the limit. That's why the fight still commenced. But he tested positive for Osterine. Francisco Rodriguez tested positive against Galal Yafai. You know, so it's just crazy, man. We always should call this out. Every fighter, every fan, if you really love the sport and you're not a goofy, every commentator, we should say this because that, you know, fighters already pass away. You know, sometimes they get hurt, injured fatally. Sometimes they just get injured, you know, sustain a bodily injury. But, you know, it's already a dangerous sport. Let's get these bad substances out of there. Joseph Parker on that cocaine, that booger sugar, that white girl. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get this. We got to clean up the sport, man. Shout out to Ty. He says that boy Matias in the shadow realm. Yeah, man. Yeah, he in trouble, man. I don't know if he going to get out of there. Shout out to my guy Seth from Pet in the building. Oster said it's quite effed up to get knocked out on... Oster said it's messed up to get knocked out on steroids. Facts. You get knocked out on steroids, boy, you ain't shit.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my guy, Seth from Pet. Said, Doc, you do a commentary for the Zuffa card or break it down? The Zuffa card? Who's on the Zuffa card? Oh, Dana White and them. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Charles Martin and F.A. Jogber are fighting, right? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know I'm going to be live if it's on the weekend, of course. You know my team. We going to get it in. Janabek popped on something I didn't even know existed. Yeah, Oscar said Janabek popped on something he didn't know existed. So it's like, when you think about these substances like meldonium, right? I could think of, I don't know if y'all watch tennis, but Maria Sharapova popped dirty for meldonium in tennis. It's not a substance that you just stumble, trip, slip, and fall on and land in a pile of meldonium. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it can't be, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that it could be accidental, but come on, man. You know, I done took, you know, I'm an engineer, have my doctorate in engineering. I took many background checks and many drug tests, you know, whether it's a urine test or hair follicle test or a saliva test for NASA or AFRL, Air Force Research Laboratory, or for a university I worked at, whatever it is, in any capacity. I've never accidentally popped for not even marijuana. How common is marijuana? You can walk down the street and you can have your neighbor smoking marijuana or something. I've never even tested positive for marijuana. Never in my life. So you tell me how you accidentally test positive for Osterine and meldonium and come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't gonna keep it going down that road, but it's just crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it can't happen. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but we got to start holding these fighters accountable. I don't think that's real boogeyman things. What I think is real boogeyman things, is when you're a clean fighter and people still don't want to fight you. Like Osley Iglesias, the Cuban fighter that's in the IBF right now, trying to get a fight for a vacant IBF belt at 168 super middleweight. A lot of fighters don't want to fight him. But even him, I'm not comfortable calling him a boogeyman because Jaime Munguia, I'm going to be honest, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me. I don't think people are scared. I don't think Jaime Munguia is scared of Osley Iglesias, but I think that he has a better opportunity of beating Armando Resendez for the WBA belt. I don't think Canelo is scared of Osley Iglesias. Old Cinnamon, that's one of my favorite fighters, right? I don't think he's scared of Osley's, but he's injured right now, right? He even told us that he was going to try to fight Terrence Crawford on what? September, Mexican Independence Day. He wasn't even coming back for Cinco de Mayo. Hence, we have David Benavidez versus Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez on Cinco de Mayo. So a lot of people might say, oh, well, Cinnamon was offered the fight by the IBF and President Daryl Peoples. He didn't take it, so he's scared. I don't think that he's scared of Ossie Iglesias. If you're going to be scared of somebody, it'll be Ossie Iglesias. He's a dangerous fighter, very elusive, has a Cuba style. We know that gives Cinnamon trouble, as Arizlani Lara. But I don't think Cinnamon's a beast, man. Who was Ossie Iglesias beat for us to say that Cinnamon's worried about him? Ossie Iglesias' best win is probably Vladimir Shishkin. Now, let's not confuse lack of familiarity with a lack of skill, because you could be popular and not be good, Ryan Garcia, and you could be unpopular and be great, like Dimitri Bivol, right? No one knew who Dimitri Bivol was until he beat Cinnamon. He didn't suddenly become good when he beat Cinnamon. No, he just suddenly became recognizable, prolific when he beat Cinnamon. So those are two different things. We shouldn't confuse the two. However, I am saying this: Cinnamon being an all-time great, despite losing to Terrence Crawford, despite losing to Bivol, despite losing to Floyd Mayweather, he's still an all-time great. He beat guys like Danny Jacobs, Miracle Man Jacobs, beat guys like, you know, Amir Khan in a devastating fashion. He beat guys like Triple G. You see what I'm saying? Beat guys like Sergey Kovalev. He beat guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He just reclaimed undisputed before losing undisputed Terrence Crawford. He reclaimed it against an undefeated Cuban, William Skull. You know what I'm saying? Whether you think he really won or not, that's debatable. But the fact is, I'm naming all these people. Austin No Doubt Trout, Miguel Cotto, these guys, no disrespect to Austin Iglesias, I think he's a beast. But like I said, once again, we throwing out this term Boogeyman willy-nilly. That implies that people don't want to fight you. Even Yonli Hernandez, El Diablo, Yo-Yo Diablo, excuse me, I think he's a beast. You can't tell me that people are scared of him. It's like sometimes you got to get your name up. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to, the risk has to justify the fight. You see what I'm saying? If the risk doesn't match the reward, I'm not going. So there's a business aspect of it too. You see what I'm saying? So we got to acknowledge that as well. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, but you should acknowledge these things. So, in my personal opinion, so I don't necessarily think that people wouldn't fight Ossie Iglesias. Do I think he's a dangerous fight? Yeah, I think he's actually probably the most dangerous route to take to get a title, right? You have to go through Christian and Billy to get that WBC. That's a dangerous fight. WBA, you got to go through Armando Resendez. I thought he had upset of the year over one of my favorite fighters, Caleb Plant. That's a tough fight, but I think I'm not saying he's easy. I'm saying, but relative to the other champions, relative to the other routes, I think that's probably the easiest route, right? I think we can all agree on that. The WBO has to go through Shiraz and Pacheco. So I would think that the weakest link, not saying he's weak, but relative to the others, making a comparison, I think the Resendez WBA belt is the weakest, is the easiest opportunity to get a belt. So if Munguia could have IBF for Ossie Iglesias or WBA for Resendez, I think it's common sense to go the WBA route, and then we'll see. Maybe Munguia would fight Ossie Iglesias for unification if he beats Resendez, right? But I think Munguia would beat Iglesias anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that I'm not comfortable saying that they're scared, man. These guys are warriors, man. Shout out to Boxing Wiz in the building. Shout out to my brother 2-4 in the building. Where the GTD chains at? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We got Tank coming up with the Tank rules. Shout out to my brother Boxing with 2-4 in the building. What up, folk? We got my brother Peel out in the building. Big member in the building. I see you, my brother. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to y'all for joining the kid. I appreciate that. Oster says, what did Oster say? I saw Oster with a message. He said, yes, Canelo duck. Canelo scared to death. Man, Canelo will do this to Ossie Iglesias. Stop playing with my boy Cinnamon. Come on, man. You better stop playing with my boy. You better stop playing with my boy Cinnamon, man. He gonna cook up Resendez. Stop playing. I mean, well, he'll cook Resendez too, but he'll cook Iglesias, man. Ain't nobody messing with my boy Cinnamon at 168 right now. I think the toughest fight for him at 168 would probably be Iglesias, though. Iglesias and then Billy. I think that because Canelo has such great timing, I think that in Billy is a little wild sometimes. I think he could catch him easier. I think Iglesias stylistically would probably be the toughest matchup for Cinnamon right now, but I would still bet on Cinnamon. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep on going though. Let's keep on going. Shout out to my guy Ty. He says oh Lord, my chat just messed up. Oh no, my chat did not mess up. Shout out to my brother Oster OGO with the 5 gifted memberships, man. I appreciate you, man. Dropping the memberships, dropping biscuits in the hood. He generous out there like Oprah.
1, 2, 3.
Come on now. Shout out to my brother, man. I appreciate that. Ulster, man, always coming through with the gifted memberships. I appreciate that. Please, if you are blessed to receive a gifted membership, compliments of my brother Ulster, please consider renewing that membership upon expiration. That really helps to keep us going and growing, and that's what we're trying to do. We're a small channel. We get the hustle off the muscle. We don't ride nobody's coattails. We just do our thing, and every single view that we have is organic. You know what I'm saying? We get it out the mud, man. That's the only way I know. So I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. I know there's a lot of options out there. Y'all choose to rock with me. I don't take that lightly, man. So thank you, man and woman. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. And let's keep on going. Now, we talked about the boogeyman, right? The fake boogeyman. I'm not saying that Oscar Iglesias is not good. So I don't mean disrespect when I say I don't think he's a boogeyman or Yo-Yo Diablo. I'm just saying that it's not really, I don't think they can say anybody's ducked them yet because they're not in a position to be ducked, really, especially not Yonly Hernandez. Maybe Oscar Iglesias could feel that way, but Yo-Yo Hernandez, nah. And then Subriel Matias, you pop dirty, bruh. I'm not trying to hear the boogeyman. You just got knocked the freak out. And then Janabek is supposed to be the boogeyman. The average boxing fan can't name 3 people that the man beat. Who is impressive on Janabek's resume? Denzel Bentley, Stephen Butler, Annual Namasenge, Andre Mikhailovich. You're going to say who, and who. You never heard of none of these guys. If I ask you to name anybody on Janabek's resume, you're not going to say anybody. And if I say, oh, well, he beat, I don't know, Andre Mikhailovich, you're going to respond like this.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
You're not going to know who he is.
You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
You're not going to know who he is. So how can you tell me that that guy's a boogeyman when he finally gets an opportunity to unify with the oldest active champion in all of boxing, Erislandy Lara? He has a chance to unify and he pops dirty. He's already known as a weight bully. I've been saying this for the longest. People got mad at me, said, oh, you just don't like Janabek. Why would I dislike Janabek for no reason? You can't, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but at some point, man, you got to respect the hustle, man. You can't tell me one day, oh, Doc, you so unbiased, but then when next day I say something that you don't like and you're emotional about, all of a sudden I'm biased and I'm saying hating on Janabek. Why would I hate on Janabek? I have no reason to hate on Janabek. I say that he's a weight bully because he's literally had fights canceled because he missed weight. And you say, oh, Doc, well, you're being heartless. He had to be hospitalized. He was hospitalized because he was using methodologies to lose weight drastically. He was going through a significant and severe weight cut that forced him to fall out and be hospitalized. It was self-inflicted. And on top of being a weight bully, having fights postponed because you can't make weight, you pop dirty for meldonium as a PED when you're going to finally get your unification that you've been begging for against the oldest chair. He didn't try to cheat Carlos Adames. He didn't try to cheat, move up and try to cheat Cinnamon. He cheated Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara is 45,000 years old.
Damn.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
That's a faux boogeyman, man. That's a fake boogeyman. But who the real boogeyman, in my personal opinion, is that guy right there, none other than Jaron Boots Ennis. I like Vergil Ortiz. I'm so above calling them ducks, man. I just want the fight to happen. But you can't tell me if you saw what Oscar De La Hoya said today that that's not a duck. It's a duck, man. It's a duck, bro. Like, and it may not even be Vergil Ortiz. It may be his promoter Rick Meridian. It may be his promoter Oscar De La Hoya. It may be the chairman Eric Gomez for Golden Shower Promotions or Golden Boy Promotion, Oscar De La Ponte. But the fact the fight is not happening, if you're blaming Jaron Boots Ennis and Eddie Hearn right now, you are entitled to your opinion. But I just feel like you're kind of putting your head in the sand. You're being ignorant a little bit, because when Oscar De La Hoya comes out and says things like, oh, we have other options available, we could fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence? Errol Spence? We haven't seen Errol Spence in over 2 years. Last time we seen Errol Spence, who's one of my favorite fighters. He's a warrior, right? I don't see how people could dislike a guy like Errol Spence or David Benavidez. They go and fight anybody. They be with all the smoke. Mr. No Tune-Up, Big Fish, aka The Truth, Errol Spence. I have reason to believe that he would take the fight, but that'd be so stupid. You see what I'm saying? That's when you need a good team around you to be like, hey, man, chill, little Weaver. You need to have a tune-up. If you were going to have a tune-up at any time in your career, this is the time you need it. We haven't seen you in many a moon. You've been on sabbatical. We ain't seen you in about 2 years. Last time we saw you, it was at a lower weight division at 147. You got beat from pillar to post. You suffered your first defeat. You suffered your first defeat by stoppage. And your next fight, you're looking to make a debut at a new weight class. And we don't even know who your trainer is. and you gonna fight Vergil Ortiz? Like, to me, shout out to Errol Spence, that's some gangster stuff. But to me, that's weak sauce coming from Vergil Ortiz. Why would you even, say whether it's Vergil Ortiz specifically or his father or Oscar, why would you even want to fight a guy under those circumstances? Circumstances are terrible. So it just kind of shows that, and the fact that you consider that Vergil Ortiz, he has some good personnel wins under his belt. Sergey Boachuk's a good win. That's a good name. But he lost to Brandon Adams. A lot of people don't know who Brandon Adams is, right? He fought, and it was a controversial win because he got dropped twice in the process, right? He fought Israel Madrimov. Nobody really know Israel Madrimov. We just know Israel Madrimov as an undefeated WBA champion that Terrence Crawford beat, right? Let's be honest. That's how we really know him. But that's a good win, right? And he beat Erickson the Hammer Lubin. That's a good win. But Erickson the Hammer Lubin has been stopped just like Sergey Boachuk. He was stopped in dramatic fashion by Jermell Charlo. So these are guys that he's fighting. A lot of people think that Erickson Lubin is on the downslide, right? So these are the guys that he beat. Are those more recognizable names than Jaron Boots Ennis beat? Absolutely. However, we have to also acknowledge the fact that Vergil Ortiz was supposed to fight Amantas Stanionis at 147. That fight didn't happen, whether it's Stanionis' fault, the Lithuanian former WBA champion, or Vergil Ortiz's fault, the American champion or interim champion, right? It's inconsequential. The fact is that it didn't happen. Terrence Crawford and Vergil Ortiz didn't happen. Terrence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz didn't happen, right? Vergil Ortiz has never been a champion. Let me say that again. Vergil Ortiz has never been a champion. But you know who has been a champion? Not only has Jaron Boots Ennis been a champion, he's also been a unified champion. He's also been a Ring Magazine champion. So only one of them, Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Boots Ennis, has been a champion. That'd be Jaron Boots Ennis. Only one of them has been a Ring Magazine champion. That'd be Jaron Boots Ennis. Only one of them has been a unified champion. That'd be Jaron Boots Ennis. And and by the way, in order to obtain unification, in order to unify and become a unified champion, he had to go through a guy in Amantas Stanionis who was an undefeated WBA champion, a guy that Vergil Ortiz and Stanionis were supposed to fight all the way back in 2018. So while we were saying, Vergil Ortiz has a better resume from a personnel standpoint, I would acknowledge that. But if Vergil Ortiz would have fought Stanionis from a skill standpoint, that'd be one of his best opponents that he's fought. Right? Especially if we would have fought an undefeated Stanionis. Let's talk about Karen Chukazan. Karen Chukazan, the Ukrainian fighter, he's not a popular guy, but that would undoubtedly be one of the toughest opponents that Vergil Ortiz fought. And Jaron Boots Ennis fought him twice. Now, is Jaron Boots Ennis lacking from a personnel standpoint as far as fighting a high-profile fighter? Absolutely. But he's trying to fight Vergil Ortiz, and he was a unified champion. At some point, we have to recognize, too, that 147 wasn't a deep division. But even despite not being a deep division, a barren division, he still was a unified Ring Magazine champion. So we got to acknowledge that, too. Now, we need to see him step up from Wiesma Lima and stuff like that at 154. But that was his debut at a new weight class. So I would love to see him and Vergil Ortiz. I don't care if Vergil Ortiz doesn't need boots. And they're right. Vergil Ortiz, I think, is the bigger name, whether you like it or not. I think Vergil Ortiz is the bigger name. But he needs boots, especially when you're not a champion. And Boots needs Vergil Ortiz as well. And they need each other. They're both rivals. They're both a similar age, both in their prime. Why not fight? You see what I'm saying? And it seems like Oscar De La Hoya is holding it up. I think he's bluffing with the 60-40, but we'll see. I think Boots should call his bluff and see if that deal will really go through. But let me hit some of this chat right now. But to me, with Jaron Boots Ennis never failing the test, I don't think he's ever missed weight. He might have missed weight earlier on in his career, but he's a consummate professional, and he's accomplished, and he's a former unified champion, and he's a former Ring Magazine champion, and he's been a champion before. To me, that's a real boogeyman. So we'll see how he moves forward. Hopefully, if he doesn't get the Vergil Ortiz fight, he gets to fight the winner of Bakram and Josh Kelly for that IBF strap, or maybe fight the winner of Abbas Barao, the WBA Togolese German champion, who's unifying with the Puerto Rican American WBO champion Xander Zayas. Maybe he can get the winner of that. We'll see. I think that's wishful thinking, but we'll see. And we'll see if Vergil Ortiz. Now I will say this. I know I'm on Vergil Ortiz's head top, but I will give Vergil Ortiz credit if he doesn't fight Boots and he goes and fights Fundora, the winner of Fundora and Thurman for that WBC belt, because he is a WBC interim champion, right? And what's going to make the fight between Boots and Vergil even bigger is if that fight is for unification. That'd be dope. So if Vergil Ortiz turns around and fights a guy like Fundora, I wouldn't be mad at him, you know? But don't forget to smack that like button. I appreciate it. Don't forget to smack that like button. Don't be stingy with them thumbs and them fingertips. Get it popping with that like button. You feel me? I wouldn't be mad at Vergil if he fought for a belt. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll fight Errol Spence, and I think that's trash. If he goes and fights Errol Spence, I'm sorry. That's garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Shout out to my guy, Just Draw. Was good. He said, caught the live. Yeah, I haven't been live in a while. I've been sloughing, man. I've been sloughing. Shout out to good fella. He says, yeah, nah, man, that's horrible for them to even mention Spence. Come on now. You mentioning Spence? That's a bunch of
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit!
like, come on, man. And you know, Spence is, you know, he's one of them ones. So he might do it, but I hope he doesn't, man. But I mean, hey, at the same time, if you want to come back, you know, like I said, Spence is one of my favorite fighters. At the same time, hey, if he comes back, I would love to see Spence come back. But hopefully he's the same. What I don't like to see is I don't like to see fighters that are shelling themselves and come back. You feel me? Like, who wants to see Deontay Wilder? I like Deontay Wilder, another one of my favorite fighters, but nobody wants to see. We know he's not the bomb squad no more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to see the fighters that are great come back and be a shell themselves and get punched out. Like, shout out to Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire. I don't like to see him get punched on. Manny Pacquiao, I don't like to see him get punched on. These are legends. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard to hang them up when that's all you do. I would never tell a man or a woman to drop their passion. You know, how can I tell somebody not to pursue their dreams? But at the same time, too, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Who wants to see Vladimir Klitschko come back and get punched on? You see what I'm saying? Losing the guys that are he ain't really got no business losing to. I think that's a territory that Spence is approaching if he comes back, especially under these circumstances against a guy like Vergil Ortiz. You know, Vergil Ortiz is a good fighter. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I think that for whatever reason they don't want to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. But I'm not saying that Vergil Ortiz is not a good fighter. I think that's a 50. Bro, I'm going to be honest. I think I tell people this all the time. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I lean towards Jaron Boots Ennis, but he could lose. But when the more we talk about this fight not happening, it seems like the ones that are sloughing are on the Golden Boy side, then it's hard for me to believe that it's 50-50 when it seems like one side's not even fully confident that they could win. Shout out to Oscar Perez. He said, didn't Vergil get hospitalized for weight cutting in Saudi? I don't know where it was at. But he definitely got hospitalized a couple times, not once, but twice. And that rhabdomyolysis, I like Vergil Ortiz. But if you educate yourself on what rhabdomyolysis is, or rhabdo, you know that he got it. One of the ways to get it is from severe weight cutting. Vergil Ortiz is also a weight bully. You notice when he moved his fat ass up to 154, he no longer complained about rhabdo, right? So if it's really an illness that you're dealing with and not a self-inflicted illness, then how come the rhabdo disappeared when you moved up? Come on now, we educate. Hey, we talking now. We talking real boxing now. Have you ever heard him complain about rhabdomyolysis at 154? So you tell me what that means. I mean, tell me. Tell me what that means. Tell me what that means, man. It means it was self-inflicted. It happened because he was trying to squeeze down in them skinny jeans and try to do the jerk with the new boys. You a jerk. You ain't got no business wearing no skinny jeans, man. Put on some jeans that fit, man. I don't wear tight jeans like the white boy. But I do get wasted like the white boy. Shout out to Plies. I don't wear tight jeans, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no wrong wearing tight jeans. I'm just making, you know, I'm just joking. Shout out to my brother Thomas. He says Spence just gotta take him out like it's trash. Come on now. Spence just got, hey, that's a fact. He just gotta take him out like it's trash day. That's a fact. Shout out to Thomas. Thomas said chess 2-1. Ooh. Who chess just had a battle recently? I missed it. Trying to catch up to the chats, man. Just trying to catch up to the chat. Shout out to Ty. He says, Fundora changed Lubin's life. Yeah, man. He punched on him and had his face all blown up, man. That was a good fight, though. Shout out to Erickson the Hammer Lubin, and shout out to the Tower and Inferno, Sebastian Fundora. But Fundora didn't. Hey, man, that's a bad dude right there, too, man. Fundora, a lot of people think Vergil beats Fundora, man. I don't know, man. Bro, that's why, to me, in my personal opinion, my humble opinion, I think that 154 is the best division from a depth and a parity standpoint, right? It has the most depth, has the most parities. Like, anybody could win any given Sunday, man. You know, Jaron Boots Ennis could beat Bakram. Bakram could beat Vergil. Vergil could beat Xander. Xander could beat Barao. Barao could beat, I don't know, give me somebody else at 154. Israel Madrimov. Madrimov could beat Boachuk. Boachuk could beat Brian Mendoza. Jesus Ramos has fought his last two fights at 160, I believe. So I don't know if he's ever coming back to 154. But you feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of people. Jonas Tellis, I still think Jonas Tellis could bounce back. You know what I'm saying? From losing to Abbas Barao. You know, I don't think it's over for Jonas Tellis. So I think it's any given Sunday or any given Saturday for boxing, right? At 154, I think that's the best division. But we'll see, man. If you could come out and emerge as the best at 154, man, you shaking something. You feel me? So I think Boots could do that. I think Xander. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Boots. Hard to say because Bakram is a beast too, man. I'm not sure if he beats Josh Kelly because that's a stylistic matchup right there. Josh Kelly's pretty slick. I'm betting on Bakram though. But could I see Bakram beating Boots? Yeah. I personally would rank Bakram as the best at 154, to be honest. For me right now, my number one guy, if I had to pick, like I said, it's very close. I would say Bakram because he is a champion. It's hard for me to say Vergil or Boots is the best when they're not a champion. Man, I feel like maybe I'm a stickler for, I don't know, you know, maybe I'm too traditional in that manner, but it's hard for me to say that the top 4 guys aren't Bakram, Fedora, Barao, and Xander. Now I know Xander and Barao are kind of Xander being a little green and young. I get putting him behind Boots and Vergil, some other guys, but I respect the belts and I respect the way Bakram beat the hell out of Tim Tszyu. God. Hey, bro, he beat Tim Tszyu from pillar to post. Gosh, see, I know Tim Tszyu lost to Sebastian Fedora already, but that was a controversial loss, right? Because he sustained a nasty hellacious cut that impaired his vision and drained his, you know, his blood was leaking too. Like, so that drained your stamina. So that was controversial in nature. Bakram won nothing controversial like that. He put that thing on gosh dang Tim Tszyu. So for me, Bakram's number 1. I would say Sebastian probably number 2, Sebastian Fedora. But I put Boots up from a skill standpoint. I think it's easy to say Boots is probably the best. But I also want to say this too. I think Xander in a couple years, I think Xander has the highest ceiling. I will say that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Xander's highest. I think he has the highest ceiling. Will he reach that ceiling? Will he reach that potential? I don't know. But I think right now, from a skill standpoint, as it sits, I think the most skilled boxer at 154 is probably Jaron Boots Ennis. Does that mean that does the most skilled boxer always win? Nah. No, I think the most devastating puncher at 154 might be Bakram. I think the most awkward person to fight, the one that gives the biggest stylistic matchup nightmare, is probably Sebastian Fedora. You see what I'm saying? So, man, it's just Boachuk is still alive, dog. Don't get it twisted. So 154 hot, man. Shout out to my brother Unity in the Unity. Shout out to my brother Kendrick in the building. Big member in the building. Thomas Hill said, nope, that easy battle in the draw. Okay, appreciate it, man. Got them skinty jeans, them skinties. You know what I'm talking about? Got to put them skinties in it. Shout out to my boy Kendrick said the Bass about to upset Xander. Hey, that's a Bass Barao right here. Hey, man, we be doing our thing, chat. There's 4 champions in the 154-pound division. We interviewed 2 of them, right? We interviewed Xander Zayas for the WBO. We did that on site at the fight. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the support. That's where the support goes to you know, getting us out there at these events and stuff like that, traveling, all that stuff, keeping the lights on. And then we had Abbas Barao pull up on the show for an interview, man. So, you know, we small, but we growing, man. So keep rocking with your boy. I appreciate it, you know. But yeah, I think that's a great fight, man. I'm torn, man. You know me. Once I rap with you, man, I'm a loyal person. So it's hard for me to go against Abbas. It's hard for me to go against Xander. I just say may the best man win. But I will tell you this, though. They do have some familiarity with each other in sparring. And Xander has the advantages from, like, you know, height. I believe he has a reach advantage. But Abbas Barao has that dog in him. As Jonas tells us, you can't teach that. Now, we do know Abbas Barao had to slip up against Jack Koke and stuff like that. But Xander Zayas hasn't really fought. He beat Patrick Teixeira. He beat Damian Sosa. He beat some guys, right? He won the belt from Juan Garcia Perez, right? But he's not really super impressive opponent. So I think it's really a 50-50. I could see Abbas Barao upsetting Xander, but I could see Xander outboxing him too. So we'll see, right? And last time we seen 2 fighters have a familiarity with each other, it resulted in an upset, right? Not Abbas Barao. Armando Resendez versus Caleb Plant. For me, that was upset of the year last year. They had a familiarity with each other for sparring. So never discount or discredit how much impact familiarity has when it comes to fighting. Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach had a familiarity with each other, right?
Yeah.
And look how that turned out. That was a tough fight. So we cannot omit those factors. I do think Xander Zayas is the favorite and probably should be, though. Yeah. Is that my brother WJ McCullough in the building? Big member in that building. Peel Out says Ortiz would stop Boots. Oh Lord, he might put, hey, the fight might go down and Ortiz could definitely have Boots in there looking like, where is it? Looking like fight back.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back, man. Fight back.
You can have him in there like fight back. I'm going with Boots personally, but like I said, Vergil Ortiz and Boots, that's why we want it. That's why we want it, right, Peel Out? Because you're confident that Vergil will win. Ty's confident Boots will win. I think it's a great fight matchup. That's why we want to see it. That's why we need some of these great fights to happen, man. Shout out to my guy, Pastor John. Pastor Johnny, excuse me. Shout out to Pastor Johnny. He said, this is my first time checking out. Welcome to the Boxing Talk family, man. BTF, rise up. Let's get it. He said, first time checking out your podcast. Appreciate you. Welcome. And thus far, I like it, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that compliment. He said, did I miss something in reference to Spence? Last time I heard he was enjoying his time with his family. Yes, he's supposed to be enjoying family time. Hopefully that continues to go forward. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Spence he like to tease with the comebacks, and Vergil Ortiz, they've been calling out Spence for an all Dallas showdown, big Texas in the building. Oscar De La Hoya has been talking about Spence. He just talked about him today, said that Spence is one of the options. So you know how we hear stuff after the fact. It's so funny that a lot of people be like, oh, remember when Tank was supposed to fight Jake Paul? A lot of people say, oh, that's far-fetched, that's bull crap, that's nonsense. And they said, oh, what does Eddie Hearn know? Because Eddie Hearn announced it. And I said, bro and sis, we got to realize that we're not in these back rooms. So yes, Eddie Hearn's not a PBC fighter. I mean, a PBC promoter. Yes, he doesn't work hand in hand with Gervonta Tank Davis. But if you don't think these people are having preliminary talks and they're not hip to who's fighting who in a relative time span, I think you're kind of crazy. You see what I'm saying? So because Oscar De La Hoya keeps repeatedly talking about Errol Spence, I think that we'd be fools if we think that they are not having some type of communication with Errol Spence about potentially fighting Vergil Ortiz. And we know Errol Spence. One of the reasons why I like the truth is because he's Mr. No Tune-Up. Every fight matters, whether he's fighting, gosh dang, Danny Garcia or your Dennis Ugas or Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter. He's in them fights. He's one of them ones. So I don't think it's far-fetched to imagine Errol Spence coming back and jumping in the ring with Vergil Ortiz, like Mr. Thomas said, Thomas Hill, T Hill. He said we just got to hope that Errol Spence put that thing on him. And I hope he does too, because I think it's nonsense. Well, I'm not saying the fight is bad, but circumstantially it's bad. Like I said, Errol Spence, we ain't seen him in many a moon. He's been on a sabbatical, right? We ain't seen him in over 2 years. Last time we saw him, he got beat from pillar to post. Last time we saw him, he suffered his first loss. Last time we saw him, he suffered his first loss by stoppage. And last time we saw him, he was at 147. He's going to make his debut at 154. And last time we saw him, he was being trained by Derek James. He's not with Derek James anymore, so we don't even know who his trainer is. So I just think that's Team Vergil and Team Ortiz taking advantage of a guy that's not in the best position physically to fight. And I don't think that they would fight Errol Spence under normal circumstances, and I think that's whack in my personal opinion. So is there any definitive news that he's coming back? No, we're just going off of what Oscar De La Ponte said in Golden Shower Promotions. But yeah, I mean, I would watch it because I like Errol Spence and I like Vergil Ortiz too. I just think it's getting kind of crazy. Shout out to my brother Bodega Ty in the building. He said Vergil technically hasn't fought at 154 until he preaching now. Everybody face forward in your pulpits. We got Pastor Bodega Ty approaching the pew. Everybody face forward in your pews. We had Pastor Bodega Ty approaching the pulpit. I can't talk. He says Vergil technically hasn't fought at 154.
Yeah.
Until he fought Boachuk.
Yeah.
His prior 2 fights were over the 154 limit.
Yeah.
These are facts, right? Because in the 2 fights that he's referencing is against Frederick Lawson, right? And against Thomas Delorme. A lot of people like to say, oh, I'm not giving Boots an excuse. If you want to be disappointed in him fighting Weizma Lima, that's cool. But we have to also acknowledge that Weizma Lima was his debut at a new weight class, right? It was Boots' debut at a new weight class. And I know we don't really care for the IBO, but the IBO is a belt, and Weizma Lima had it. And Weizma Lima never been stopped before. He had 1 loss, but that was to Aaron McKenna, who's a pretty decent contender at 160 right now, right? So Weizma Lima wasn't no poo-putt, even though Jaron Bucetis made him look like a poo-putt, made him look like a scrub, beat him in 1 round. But Weizma Lima's not garbage, right? You got to remember the IBO was held by Dimitri Bivol. Remember when Dimitri Bivol went to fight Beterbiev, he had 2 belts on his shoulders, right? And you're like, oh, how did he have 2 belts? Because Beterbiev had 3. Beterbiev had the WBO, the IBF, and the WBC. Bivol only had 1 belt, the WBA, but he wore 2 belts. Well, that other belt that he wore on his right shoulder was the IBO belt. All I'm saying is that fighters are proud of the IBO belt. So I'm not saying that you should factor it in as a big 4. No, it's not the WBA, WBC, IBF, or WBO. But some fighters like it. It is a trinket. It is a trophy. It should be respected a little bit. So I think Boots should fight somebody better than Weizma Lima. I'm not saying that I was looking forward to Weizma Lima, but I think a lot of people say, oh, well, Vergil Ortiz is fighting all these hitters and Boots is fighting Weizma Lima. Well, Vergil Ortiz's debut at 154, it was not Israel Madrimov. It was not Serhii Boachuk. his first fight away from 147, whether you want to call it 154 or not, it's above 154. It wasn't 160, so I call it 154, even though he was overweight again because he's a weight bully, right? He fought Frederick Lawson, who's been knocked out multiple times. Frederick Lawson wasn't even deemed eligible to fight by two doctors, or was it three doctors? I think it was two doctors turned him down and tried to cancel the fight, including referee Tony Weeks, right? Tony Weeks actually got reprimanded and punished for trying to cancel the fight because they said that Frederick Lawson wasn't fit to fight because he was showing signs of brain aneurysms, but they had to fight anyway by having a third doctor approve him, right? So that's who Vergil Ortiz fought for his debut at 154. I think Weizma Lima is better than Frederick Lawson. If we're going to make an accurate comparison, because a lot of people like to compare Weizma Lima to Israel Madrimov and Serhiy Boachuk and Erickson Lubin, like these were Vergil Ortiz's debuts at 154. They weren't. It was Frederick Lawson. Weizma Lima beat the hell out of Frederick Lawson. No disrespect, right? And his second fight was Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme is a guy that Vergil Ortiz beat in 2 rounds, right? Jaron Boots Ennis beat Thomas Delorme earlier and in a faster fashion before Vergil Ortiz did it. So even a guy that Vergil Ortiz fought at 154, Jaron Boots Ennis already beat him and Thomas Delorme. And Terrence Crawford already beat Thomas Delorme. I think he was the first. Was he the first person to beat Thomas Delorme? I'm not sure about that. But he also beat Thomas Delorme. But the point is, what I'm saying is that if you want to make an accurate comparison, their debuts at 154, Weizma Lima is better than Vergil Ortiz's debut. But people have selective memory and they pick things when convenient. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I like Vergil Ortiz. He's a good fighter, but I think it's appropriate to make accurate comparisons. And it's not accurate to compare who Jaron Boots Ennis fought in his debut at a new weight class to who Vergil Ortiz is fighting now that he's been there for about 4 or 5 fights. That's just inaccurate. See what I'm saying? But people don't like to tell the whole story, but that's what we do over here. Shout out to Pastor Johnny. He said, thanks for the update. I appreciate your boxing knowledge and rationale. Man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you joining, man. Shout out to you. Please don't forget to smack that like button. Don't be stingy with them fingers. Helps us to keep going and growing. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the question. And hey, I don't know everything, but I try. You know, I try to pay attention to boxing a lot. I do a lot, and I appreciate your appreciation, man. Thank you, bro. Means a lot. He said Lima ain't beating none of them. Stop it. Wait. What you did? He said Lima. Oh wait, he talking to Tufo. Tufo says Lima might just touch Lubin chin. No, I don't know. I don't know if he beat it. I don't know. Hey, I don't think so. I ain't gonna go that far. But I don't know, man. That Erickson Lubin that Vergil Ortiz fought, I don't want to take anything away from Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz was a big reason Erickson Lubin looked bad, but that he looked real bad, man. He ain't have jackhammer or sledgehammer. He ain't have Nan hammer. You see what I'm saying? He was hammerless. That wasn't Erickson the Hammer Lubin, I'll tell you that. But at the same time, too, like I said, Erickson Hammer Lubin did just come off of beating undefeated Ardra Holmes. So we got to give him credit for that, too. So I'm not sleeping on Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz beating Israel Madrimov was dope. That's a dope win. Him beating Erickson Lubin is a dope win. Him beating Serhiy Boachuk, which was controversial, is a dope win. But it's like some people will be disappointed in Jaron Boots Ennis. Like, we have to talk, we have to be real, right? Let's be honest. Tell me if I'm lying, Dub. Correct me if I'm wrong. We liked the Vergil Ortiz versus Serhiy Boachuk fight because it was exciting. It wasn't a good performance from Vergil Ortiz. It was just a competitive back and forth matchup, right? It was exciting and a high intense battle. Vergil Ortiz got dropped twice on the way to a majority decision victory. Nothing wrong with that. But it wasn't like he put on a dominant performance. I've seen people say, oh, yeah, he fought Serhiy Boachuk. He did. No, we loved that fight because it was exciting. Truth be told, Jaron Boots Ennis performed better against Karen Chukazan, and he gets more critiques for his victories over Karen. And Vergil Ortiz gets more praise for his victory over Serhiy Boachuk. But who had the better performance? Jaron Boots Ennis didn't touch the canvas. In fact, Karen touched the canvas. So Jaron Boots Ennis' performance was better than Vergil's against Boachuk. But what was the more interesting fight? It was because, you know, it's a slugfest between Vergil and Serhiy. So it's going to be more fan friendly. But it wasn't a better performance. Let's not get that twisted. However, I think Vergil Ortiz has definitely fought the better personnel, more recognizable personnel than Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis has to catch up, and we'll see if he does. That's on Eddie and Jaron Boots Ennis. They got to get right. You know, they got to fight somebody that we know. I think that'd be appropriate. You know what I'm saying? Tufo said Boachuk is pure cheese. Nah, I think Boachuk's good, but he might be a little bit overrated. Shout out to B-Dog. What's good, my brother? B-Dog. Dub says when is De La Hoya contract over with DAZN? That's a good question. Remember, I dropped a video about this. DAZN's contract with Golden Boy, according to Dan Raphael, has been reported to be over by 2026, which is coincidentally the year that we're in. It's going to be over in the summer. And in order for them to renew or be offered the opportunity to renew their contract or extend it, it's highly contingent on the fight between who? Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz. DAZN's not going. That's why Rick Meridian has been throwing fits and dropping these long J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter length novels on Instagram, expressing his feelings about the fight and being disgruntled, right? I'm not saying that he doesn't have a legitimate reason to be upset, but when you see somebody lashing out a lot of times, seemingly unprovoked, is because they're being extra defensive when they don't need to be. But in his case, he has to be, because you see that Eddie Hearn isn't shaking. He's not shaking in his boots. See what I did there? Shaking in his boots. Eddie Hearn boots Ennis. He's not shaking in his boots about renewing a contract with DAZN, right? He's not feeling threatened about making the Boots fight happen, because I feel like it's indicative and it's a testament to the fact that DAZN is recognizing that Matchroom and Eddie Hearn and Boots Ennis are trying to make the fight, and the biggest roadblock, the biggest hindrance to the fight being made and coming into fruition, it may not be Vergil, but it might be Vergil Ortiz Sr. It may not be Vergil Ortiz Sr., but it might be Robert Garcia. It may not be Robert Garcia, but it might be Oscar De La Hoya. It may not be Oscar De La Hoya, but it might be Rick Meridian. You see what I'm saying? All these people are affiliated directly with Team Ortiz. So they're the ones that are feeling the pressure. They're the ones coming out with all these ultimatums and all these gosh dang deadlines and stuff. Oscar De La Hoya just said that Eddie Hearn has 24 hours. He's been waiting for 72 hours. He's been waiting for 3 days. And Vergil and Team Ennis has one more day to sign the contract for a 60-40 split with a 5% bonus for the winner. It's like, come on, man. I hope Jaron Boots Ennis calls his bluff, because I do think Vergil Ortiz, like it or not, he is the bigger fighter in my personal opinion. But so he should take the 60-40 split, but I don't think that Oscar would do it. Be honest, I think he's just saying that. Shout out to my brother Average Someone in the building. What's good, my brother? Hey, good to see you, bro. Shout out to Average Someone, man. I almost missed you back there. When you sneak in, bro. Shout out to my guy G Tatted in the building. What's good, my brother? Shout out to you, man. He said salute, good brother, and Happy New Year, man. My brother, Happy New Year to you, man. May you have a peaceful and prosperous 2026, you know what I'm saying, every day and beyond. You know what I'm talking about? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. B-Dog said better performance losing. Who lost? Who lost? Who lost? Who had a better performance losing? B-Dog. Oscar Perez said, let's be honest. The only reason Vergil won is because Turk and Oscar said that after Boachuk, Vergil was next. No way Vergil beat Boachuk. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez. He doesn't think that. He think Boachuk won. I thought so Boachuk edged it out, but I will say the difference between me and Oscar, I don't think it was a definitive win for Boachuk. I'm cool with Vergil Ortiz winning. You know, it's just same with Zaylee Zhang and Joseph Parker. When Zaylee Zhang dropped Joseph Parker twice, I thought it was enough to edge it out. Joseph Parker won by majority decision. I was cool with that. I don't think it's a robbery. I personally thought that it was a close fight. Could have went either way. I lean towards Zaylee Zhang, Big Bang Zhang, and I lean towards Boachuk, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at anybody saying the wrong person won. I slightly disagree because I thought it was a close fight. Could have went either way. So I'm not too mad, you know. It's like Devin Haney and Lomachenko. A lot of people say that was a robbery. I edged it for Lomachenko. Do I think it was a robbery? Nah, I feel like that's contradictory in nature. How can you have a close fight that could go either way and have a robbery simultaneously? I was cool with Devin Haney winning because I had like 4 swing rounds in that fight. It was a close fight. You know, I watched it multiple times. I thought I edged it out to Lomachenko, but can I see Devin Haney, someone edging it to Devin Haney? Absolutely. It was a close fight, man. Robberies happen, but they don't happen as often as people say. What happens often is that people will be rooting for a guy or a girl, and that person comes up short and they say, oh, it was a robbery. Nah. Robbery was Michaela Mayer versus Natasha Jonas. There's no way Natasha Jonas beat Michaela Mayer. That was a robbery. A robbery was Oshiki Foster or Hapsa Kasesal won. There's no way Hapsa Kasesal beat Oshiki Foster. That's a robbery. There's some robberies that happen. Don't get me wrong, but like, for example, Esau Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach. That was a close fight, bro. I edged it for Esau Pitbull Cruz. It was a draw. I don't think it was a robbery. Could Lamont Roach have won? Yeah. But did Roach get robbed? Now I understand how Roach, because he was involved in the fight, I understand how he felt like he was robbed, especially considering the fact that he was coming off of 2 draws consecutively, back to back, one against Tank, one against Pitbull. So I understand how he felt robbed. But if you watch that fight objectively, I don't really see how you. I saw somebody say that they scored it 9 rounds to 3 for Roach. I think that's kind of crazy, but yeah, but I like Lamont Roach. I thought it was a close fight. Could have went either way. I was cool with the draw. Not a robbery in my personal opinion. Shout out to B-Dog. He said, I actually had Loma winning on fight night, but I wasn't mad at the decision. Right. On fight night, I watched it. Then I watched it again. I watched it multiple times. I could see, bro, there was a time where I scored it for Haney. You feel me? So, man, it's close fights, man. Close fights exist, man. Shout out to KD. He says, Vergil looked like Kendrick said Vergil looked like shit in both of those fights, if we be honest. But what you get, Madrimov? Madrimov had bronchitis. That's what they say. I didn't think he looked too bad. Like I said, you know me. Maybe I'm too high on Madrimov. I think that's a good win. Madrimov said he was compromised. I believe him. But at the same time, once you step in the ring, that's not Vergil's fault that you wanted to fight and you were sick. That's on you. You see what I'm saying? Vergil can only fight the guys in front of him. So I don't think Vergil looked particularly bad. I don't think he looked particularly good either. But I think that was a tough fight. You know, Madrimov, I think Madrimov could bounce back. It's tough taking consecutive L's. You know, Terrence Crawford and then Vergil Ortiz. So that might mess up your psyche a little bit. So to me, the biggest worry for Madrimov bouncing back, from my personal opinion, is not his ability or his skills or his capability. It's his, well, yeah, it's his mental. So that goes for your capability too. It's his capability to bounce back and compartmentalize your 2 losses back to back. That could really mess up the psyche of a boxer, of anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm worried about with Madrimov. I think Madrimov could bounce back. Matias? Oof. I don't know about that. But now switching gears a little bit, man. I'm going to switch it up. And then I'm going to open up the phone line. Switching up gears, I want to talk about Hitchens and Haney, man. Speaking of Devin Haney and Richardson Hitchens. Bro, I like Richardson Hitchens. I'm so disappointed in my guy, Richardson Hitchens, man. Like, you got to fight somebody, bro. Like, what we doing, man? You can't be calling out. The man called out Devin Haney. The man called out Keyshawn Davis. The man called out everybody, bro. Teofimo Lopez. And I'm not saying that it's his fault, but you can't call out all these people and not fight anybody of note. You know what I'm saying? So I think Richardson Hitchens, man, all these people are calling him out like Frank the Ghost Martin. Why not? You talk about Frank the Ghost Martin still be sleep from Tank. No, he just beat in a sensational fashion. I had a great bounce back against Rancis Barthélemy. Rancis Barthélemy is an older gentleman, but Frank the Ghost Martin landed one of the KO of the year contenders. Fight Frank the Ghost Martin. You see what I'm saying? The Keyshawn Davis fight didn't come into fruition because of money things. You wanted a lot of money. Keyshawn wanted a lot of money, whatever. I'm not saying anybody's ducking, but boy, oh boy, if I was to say anybody was ducking, boy, you look like you're ducking. Yeah, he was supposed to fight. Him and Matias had some a back and forth shot to dub. He didn't want that. Gary and Russell said he wants to unify. He doesn't want that. Assuming Gary and Russell beats the Ghanaian Japanese contender Andy Hiroka, right? That's his next fight. But it's like, bro, you got to be open to these fights. You see what I'm saying? And now it's rumored. It's not solidified. It's not certain. It's not guaranteed. But he could be fighting Oscar Duarte, right? I think that's a good fight. I'm not mad at that. But you had Jermaine Ortiz. Not only did you not fight Jermaine Ortiz, Keyshawn Davis, who you were supposed to fight too, took your opponent. So it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, you know, so Rich said to me, he's looking bad. I don't know what he wants to do. I know he wants to fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez fighting your partner Shakur. What you gonna do? You gonna sit idly by until one of them are available? Like, you gotta be proactive, bro. And it just seems like he's turning more fights down than he's accepting, and I think that's a bad look. Like he's saying, oh, why is Sean McComb? Remember Sean McComb, who I personally thought was robbed when he fought Arnold Barbosa. I thought he beat Barbosa. He had a victory a couple weeks ago last year, maybe last month, and he won, and he called out Richardson Hitchens, and Richardson Hitchens said, who is that? I'm not saying that people know who Sean McComb is, but what you mean, who is that? He responded like this to Sean McComb. Where's it at? He said,
who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? No damn well who I am. Who the fuck is
And to me, that's a problem. It's not the problem that you don't know who Sean McComb is, but the problem is that when Sean McComb calls you out, you say, who is that? Like, you don't know who he is. He's not good enough. Gary Anton Russell, he's a WBA champion in your division, wants to unify with you. He doesn't have a big enough name. That's what Richard Sages says. The Russell family is a big boxing family, so I don't think Richard Sages may have a slightly bigger name, but it's not by much. It might be by a smidget, so it's not big enough to say, oh yeah, I'm a bigger fighter than you. Like, fight him, bro. He don't want that. You know, Matias wanted to fight him. He was a WBC that could have unified there. He didn't want that. Who else recently caught? Frank the Ghost Martin. You know Frank the Ghost Martin because he fought Tank. His stock went way up. You know, you don't want that because you said he's still sleeping. He doesn't deserve to call you. Who deserves to call you out? You got to realize when you are a champion, bro, you should be flattered in a way. I'm not saying that you should accept everybody that calls you out now, because some people are going to call you out willy-nilly and they ain't got no business fighting you. They're not in a position to fight you through merit or ranking. But you are a champion, bro. You're going to have a target on your back. That's a responsibility that comes with being a champion. Like, wake up, bro. Didn't you want to fight champions? Right? You want to fight Teofimo Lopez, not because he's a scrub. I don't really care for Teofimo Lopez because some of his antics, you know, racist and stuff like that. But he's a good fighter, right? You want to fight him because he's a WBO Ring Magazine champion. Because he has a name, right? And he's a belt holder. He comes with some type of recognition. So you have a belt, bro. You're the IBF belt holder. So of course people are going to want to fight you. And another guy that I interviewed, had the pleasure of interviewing, shout out to WBA welterweight champion Rolly Romero, right? He's acting the same way. It's like, who do you want to fight, bro? You don't want to fight anybody besides Manny Pacquiao, bro? You just want to fight old man Pac? Like, come on, bro. Y'all looking bad, man. Like, you know, you don't want to fight. You don't even want to fight. You don't want to fight Devin Haney, who's a unification opportunity at WBO 147. Rolly Romero doesn't want to fight anybody that's calling him out, man. You know, so he doesn't want to fight his mandatory Shakram Giyashov, who definitely deserves to fight. Hopefully the WBA and President Gilberto Mendoza actually mandate that. We shall see. But yeah, man, these guys, you got to want to fight, man. That's what it's about, bro. I'm not saying you got to fight everybody that calls you out, but you got to be willing to accept some call outs. Like, what are we doing, man? Duarte, I think Oscar Duarte and Richard Sages, that'd be cool for me. As a voluntary fight, that's a pretty good fight. My personal opinion. Will everybody else feel the same way? I don't know. Will they actually fight? I don't know. But I would prefer, because that window is closing with the IBF and President Daryl Peoples, to fight a voluntary. Your mandatory is right around the corner. His mandatory is Lindolfo Delgado, right? Lindolfo Delgado just had a victory. I think he got dropped in the 12th and final round. He didn't look too hot. So, in my opinion, I think he should do what Liam Parle did in reference to him, right? Remember, Liam Parle was on some gangster stuff and fought after he beat the Boogeyman and Subriel Matias in his backyard of backyard of Puerto Rico, traveling from Australia. Liam Parle said, hey, I'm not going to take a voluntary. I'm going to voluntarily fight the guy that's in the mandatory position, even though the mandatory was not called yet. He may regret that now, but I thought it was dope. That's why I always liked Liam Parle, you know what I'm saying? He fought his mandatory as his voluntary defense. So I think that with Richard Sage is having trouble and struggling to find an opponent, why not fight your soon-to-be ordered mandatory Lindolfo Delgado and fight that for your voluntary? I mean, if you're going to fight Oscar Duarte is a bigger name than Lindolfo, but, I mean, you might as well give yourself some freedom. It's not that much bigger. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you fight Lindolfo Delgado, and that's going to be on Tubi, and then Oscar Duarte is going to be on pay-per-view. Like, neither one of them are going to be that big, so I think that's my recommendation, but we'll see what happens, man. But that's all I had right there to close out the show. So I'm going to open up the phone lines if anybody wants to call in. The link is in the chat right now. It is posted at the top. If anybody wants to call in and get your thoughts off, please do so. And if not, I'm going to slide and get me some food because your boy is hungry. You feel me? So I'll open up the phone lines quickly. And we'll see who joins, man. If you want to call in, call in. The link is in the chat. Like I said, it's pinned to the top. Anybody could call in, man, and let me know what you think I messed up at, or where I was wrong at, or where you disagree, or where you agree. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of channel where I want people to get their thoughts off, let everybody's voice be heard, man. I think that's dope. I think that's important for people to, you know what I'm saying? Get their thoughts off, man. If you want to debate, we could debate as well. So I let the caller kind of decide the direction of the call, but you know, I like to hear what people have to say. Shout out to Oscar Perez, man. He said every fight at 140 becomes 50-50 if you hold a belt. Yeah, man. 140 to me is the second best division, right? You have the IBF champion, Richard Sages. You have the WBC champion, newly crowned Dalton Smith. You have the WBA champion. 140 is who? Who the heck is a 140 WBA champion? Gary Anton Russell. And then WBO champion is who? Teofimo Lopez. So To me, that's the second best division, man. After 154, in my personal opinion, 154 is the best division. 140 is the second best division. Let's open up these phone lines. Let's hear my brother. But I am gonna put on the timer because your boy does have to wake up early for work. You feel me? So that's why I haven't. That's why I've been gone for about. I haven't been gone that long. Don't get it twisted now. The last live show was the 31st of December. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie. Almost 2 weeks since I did a live. Boy, that is not like your boy. That is not like the dot. But we back now, man. So yeah, I'm gonna put the news. No Wednesday shows. So we won't do the Wednesday show. I'm gonna try to figure out another time for me to put out the Doc's Corner newsletter. Shout out, sign up for the Doc's Corner newsletter as well. You know what I'm saying? When you get real boxing talk on the newsletter. I also want to say this too. Hey, I'm not saying anybody's copying this, but chat, imitation is the best form of flattery. I'm not saying I'm the first person to come up with the with the corner, right? But I've been calling it Doc's Corner, right? How about shout out to Lance Pugmire, right? He's a boxing analyst, boxing contributor, I should say. All of a sudden now I see Pug's Corner. Come on, man. we got, we trendsetters around here. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden I'm seeing Pug's Corner. I ain't never seen Pug's Corner before. And I did my research too. I wouldn't just say it all willy-nilly. Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, the Pug's Corner is about 3 weeks old. Yeah. Okay, now we've been doing Doc's Corner for some months. Oh, okay, approaching a year now. Come on now. Shout to Lance Pugmire though. I like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we started it, but gosh dang, we making it cool. You know what I'm talking about? You just know that. Okay, shout out to my brother Oscar.
Yo, I'm here from
man.
Oscar's. What's Oscar's Corner?
Oscar's Corner. You feel me? Yeah, the corner like a $2 hole. Gosh dang, Pug's Corner. Yo. That's crazy.
You seen the picture of my block where I grew up? Hey.
Where is that?
I think I sent it to you. I'm not sure.
No, I don't have it. I don't not in the DM.
Oh damn. Well, I think the only part you messed up at, Doc, today.
Talk to me.
Is saying 154 is the deepest division in boxing.
154.
If it would have been 2025, I completely agree. 2026 with Keyshawn Davis being up there, Shakur moving up, Frank Martin moving up, I think it gets a little better than 154. Not just name wise. I think name wise, 154 still got him, but that's just because Glamour Division, 154, welterweight, they always gonna be bigger. Hands White, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman got a name is because though it's a weak era, it's still the Glamour Division. They hold some weight, but skill wise, I think 140 got it right now.
140 got it. Ooh, 140 hot. That they hot, daddy. That they hot. So I'm not mad at that.
The other thing you forgot to mention is that once you hold the belt, that fight becomes 50-50. Don't matter if you're the Ring Magazine belt, because Santa Martin, questionable. Claggett, you made him look good. Jermaine Ortiz, very questionable. So if you hold the belt at 148, that fight becomes 50-50.
Let me think. Let me think. I have to agree, man. I have to agree. I have to agree because let's look at it like, for example, 140, right? I'm not really too fond of Teofimo, but I would never, I have the ability to be objective, and I would never take away somebody's what they earn, right? I think Teofimo is, if I had to rank him, I would rank Teofimo number 1 because he's the longest reigning champion at 140. And has the Ring Magazine belt, right? Most decorated champion at 140. So I would say he's number 1. But if you're talking about who could win, I can't really say that he's the best because I agree with you. I think him and Gary Anton Russell, that's a great fight. That's a damn good fight. Teofimo versus who's another champion? Richardson Hitchens. That's a damn good fight. Teofimo versus who am I missing? WBA. Who is WBA? Gary Anton Russell. I said that already. Who am I missing? WBC. Dalton Smith. I would lean towards Teofimo over Dalton Smith, but that's a good fight.
But we had Matias over Dalton Smith, and look where that got us.
Come on now. Come on now, talk to him.
Which I say again, I don't think Matias fought a bad fight. Dalton Smith on the second round, he looked like he was about to go out.
Come on now.
But Matias and Munguia share the same training regimen when it comes to defense.
I agree.
That being said,
they block with their face.
There's one thing that you didn't talk about.
What's that?
And this fight you didn't touch upon, and it's very questionable when it comes to stoppage. And it happened in Mr. H country. A jit looking kind of funny. Caballero. That stoppage was ass.
Yeah, against what's his name, Damian Naiba. I agree with you. What was it, third round stoppage, right? I watched that fight. It was I didn't like it either. And Damian Naiba, right? He was undefeated, so I'm with you. But I will say this too, and it's heavyweight, so I shouldn't say this, but I just felt like it was a matter of time. But I agree. I think it was. I think they should have gave him a chance. I didn't mention that. And I also didn't mention Javier Herrera against Ricardo Nunes. That was a good fight. Woo! That was a good fight. And he got dropped in the first round and then had to rally, you know. That was a good fight. That stoppage could have been a little... I mean, I was cool with it. But, yeah, no, you're right about that, though. At Jit Caballero, I would have preferred to let that go on further. I wasn't too mad about it, and I forgot. So thank you for bringing that back up. I forgot because I wasn't too mad at it. But I watched it. I was like, nah, it should have went further. Should have went longer. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. I don't think that the outcome changes. Well, I don't know because it's heavyweight.
You never know. Yeah, it's heavyweight. That's why I said I shouldn't say that. Yeah, it's heavyweight. So,
he looked kind of fun. Mr. H be happy. He'd be proud of that ref.
Facts.
We ain't letting no Poland motherfucker come in and run through us.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen, man. Not from Poland.
Oh man, but hey man, you've been gone for a minute. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, 2 weeks.
Let's see.
Man. I've been gone, bro. Appreciate y'all still rocking though, man. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. Appreciate
you had
it.
You cover Amanda Serrano, right? That
man.
I'm not mad about it. I mean, I still don't know how she's a champion. 3 straight L's.
3
year and a half, almost 2 years.
3, bro. And the reason why I say, hey, shout out to Amanda Serrano. She got the win over the undefeated. I can't remember her name right now. Her opponent. And shout out to her opponent. She took it on late notice. Shout out to her. You know. But I will say in that fight, the 3 minutes, and I'm not knocking Amanda Serrano, but if you look at it, the girl that she fought, it's no excuses for her, but it's just something that we have to deal with. The facts, right? I think that was her first 3-minute fight, and it kind of looked like it. I'm not gonna lie. But with that being said, Amanda Serrano has been coming off of with the Kate Taylor fights, and that wasn't 3 minutes, so I'm not giving her an excuse. But I will say that I did consider that as well. But I was disappointed with the freaking Holly Holmes fight, man. I was disappointed with the fight. I was just mad that Holly Holmes lost, man. You know I was going for Holly Holmes, man. I like me some Holly, man. Got beat up by the police, man. She got beat up by Stephanie Hahn, man. You know she a police, man. Oh,
she a narc. She got beat up by a narc.
Come on, man. Got beat by a narc, man. That's crazy, man. But let me stop because let's be fair. I like Tierra Brown. Tierra Brown is a former police officer too, so let's be fair. But man, I was going for Holly Holmes, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Damn.
But yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, it was.
Women.
Go ahead. My bad.
Nah, it's women's walking, so
Yeah.
Kind of take it with a pinch of salt.
Right.
But I'm still no. I'm just disappointed that Amanda Serrano was still the champion. Nobody complained about it. Because everybody, when somebody hogs a division hostage and says that they don't give that guy an opportunity, it becomes a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just boxing January. It's just kind of slow a little bit.
It is, man.
I know we had a bunch of good fights though, but hey, that Cerdo and Benavidez, I'm still not sold on it, honestly.
Really? Like you're not sold on it? Like you're not sure if it's gonna happen, or you're not sold? Like you're not interested?
I'm not so. I'm interested because Mexican against Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, a boogeyman, like is Benavidez a real boogeyman? I don't think so.
Mm.
I think he's good,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't even think he's good enough to be a champion.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Because you're saying like if Bivol wouldn't have been stripped, you're not sure he beats Bivol or Beterbiev or somebody like that.
Bivol, Beterbiev, right now, Cerdo, I don't think he comes down. If he wins, he is not coming down. So I would like to see him against David Naika if he beats Cerdo. But and then you see people saying that Benavidez is gonna give us that fight. Well, I'm not even convinced about that either because when he held the belt, he was in the same promotional banner, and he had the same promoter, but he didn't fight neither Charlo or Plant, and he slapped Plant. I mean, he fought him outside the ring, but
yeah, they jumped him. They jumped him they jumped Caleb Plant. How you gonna jump the man with his trainer, bro? They jumped him in the gym, man.
And I know it sounds nice to say, "Oh, everybody's ducking me," but Munguia fought Canelo when he was supposed to fight you. So, is he really ducking you? So, I just Benavidez to me is not tested yet. He is good, but he is not tested yet.
I like Benavidez, man. I'm with you. I'm not sure who wins between him and Zerto, and I'm not sure who wins between him and Bivol and Beterbiev, but I definitely think Benavidez is one of them ones, man. I always look forward to his fight, so I think this is gonna be a great fight. Yeah, man, we'll see. I am with you though. If he wins, I'm not sure he comes back down either. It's a big guy, man. Benavidez he's no little.
It's
guy,
like Devin Haney. How do you go up and still look drained?
Come on, exactly. Like even Devin, that's a big guy too, man. That's a big boy.
And talking about being drained,
right? That's some big boys.
Mario Barrios in 4.
Hey, talk to him. I'm going for.
You seen Brian Garcia's training camp?
Yeah, he's streaming.
he over here with the kid doing his mitten. The kid is the mitten coach.
Yeah, man.
Blueface baby mama. That's
right, exactly.
Her mental coach.
Right.
His mental coach.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Barrios for it.
Shout out to Barrios, man. Get it, man.
And then I thought it was going to be like March, May, hell, even April. It's next month. Literally
February
next month.
21st. February 21st, man. On the zone.
On the zone. Is that the zone last? No, because it's not even Oscar. It's PBC. Right? Yeah, it's PBC that one that's doing it. So it's like, is Oscar contract up? It should expire.
Well, I would think it's with Oscar, right? Because PBC, if it's on the zone, PBC's with Amazon. So I would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Golden Boy. So I was kind of shocked to see it on the zone. To be honest, I just assumed it was going to be on PBC. But Oscar dropped a video today, said that they're working hand in hand right now. Al Heyman, so Al Heyman, PBC, Golden Boy, and Oscar. I think that's great. We, like you said, Zerto and Benavidez. That's another example of PBC and Golden Boy. Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios, Golden Boy, PBC. So I think that's great, but I don't think that should be a deterrent for other fights like Vergil and Booch. Vergil. We could get Vergil in the winner of Sebastian Vendora and Thurman. So I'll be cool with that fight. Like I said, I'll be cool with that fight. But that's also would be Golden Boy PBC. So that's cool, man. That's right. That's right. Turk's putting it on. That's right. Turkey's putting it on. That's true. It's a Turkey event. Thank you, Ty. I forgot that.
But are we seeing Golden Boy's new home?
Hey. Golden Boy.
I'm not mad about it. I think they got some interesting matchups. But if there's one thing that we always see from Golden Boy is they give us 1-2 fights, but they don't give us the fights that we want.
That's a fact.
They get as a hook, they might give us Benavidez and Cerdo. I think it's I don't think the matchup is bad. I think the matchup is bad for Benavidez. I think Cerdo's the last guy you want to fight if you have that style. Also, you're going up another weight class.
Yep, but they have familiarity with each other. So we'll see how that works.
And familiarity, and Cerdo's fought the better opposition out of the two of you. So I just don't know how it's going to look for Benavidez.
We'll see, man.
That being said,
forward to it.
Boots and Vergil should have already happened. Cerdo and Apataya, though Cerdo's been stuck with mandatories because 2 belts and all this and that. That should have happened. And I just hope it happens. I just want to see unification this year.
Me too, man. I want to see unification everywhere, not just cruiserweight, not just light heavyweight. I'm looking at featherweight too. That's too many champions down there. We have Espinosa WBO. We have Nick Ball WBA. We have who else? We have maybe Shushu
Angelo
Carrington
Leo,
if he beats
IBF.
what's the name for the Castro for the WBC. We have Angelo Leo for the IBF, right? So come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, I'm looking at 130 as well. Jazza Dickens with the WBA. Oshiki Foster with the what's he have? The WBO.
Yeah.
Who else? IBF is Nunez. Sorry, Navarrete got the WBO.
No.
Oshiki
Yeah,
Foster has
WBO.
WBC. Excuse me.
WBC.
Right,
yeah.
right. Yep, man. But I appreciate you, Oscar, man. I'm gonna put you in the back, man. I'm gonna pull up Kendrick. Let me get his thoughts off, and then yeah, man. I see Ty back there as well. So appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you, mi hermano. Good to hear from you, bro. KD in the building. What's good, Kendrick? Appreciate you calling up, man.
What's good, bro? What's good?
Ain't nothing much, man. Just chilling, bro. How are you? Okay, newlywed in the building. You know what I'm talking about? 2026
yes, sir.
with the knot tied. You feel me? Let's go, man. So I'm talking about, man, grown man things, man. Maybe I'll get there one day if God bless me. You feel me? How you doing, though,
yes,
bro?
Yes, sir. Been all right, man. Been all right.
I'm talking about.
Trials, tribulations, we made it. We good.
Amen. Amen. Hell yeah.
And I ain't hear your take on Dalton and Subriel. I could guess, but
Okay.
I want to shout out to Ty, Pat, and Irony. I chopped it up with them that night, and
dang, you were there. I had the fight on, bro, in the Discord, man. I didn't know you was up, bro.
I was watching. I was out. I was out.
Okay,
like,
okay.
During the fight, I was at the pool hall.
Okay.
So I had it up on my phone and stuff.
That's what's up.
Cause I had sent Irony the link because he hit me up.
Okay.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So originally, I felt like Subriel was winning the fight. Like he was about to start really taking over. Like,
come on now.
I thought he lost the first round. The second round, I gave it to him. I could like the first time I watched it, I gave it to him. I ain't even, you know what I mean?
Right.
The second time I watched it, I was like, I could see how somebody could give that to Dalton.
Yeah, I think I
he kind of came on late in the round.
Yeah, I think I gave the first to Dalton, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, the first, that was definitely Dalton. The second round, originally I had it for Subriel, but then looking back at it, the first minute and a half was all Dalton, and Subriel came on heavy at the end of the round mostly. So that's probably what influenced me.
Okay.
So originally I was like, bro, Subriel was winning the fight. They was like, nah, bro, it was close. I was like, I didn't feel like it was that close, but all right. Like, it was a fight.
It was a fight.
fight.
Yeah. I had a 2-2 myself.
Okay, see, I didn't have a 2-2. I had a 3-1.
3-1 Matias? Okay.
Yeah, because I had Matias. I gave Matias 2, 3, and 4. And I thought he was about to win 5.
Bro. Hey, Matias, it looked like Dalton was wearing down. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But looking at the second time around, one thing I noticed, these English fighters, man, they do little things to get inside these Puerto Ricans' heads, man. And they be changing them, bro. They be changing it. Like Dalton, once he started grabbing,
yes,
yo, that changed the fight.
Yeah, it's frustrating, Matias. You complain to the ref and all that.
I didn't even peep game how much it changed the fight. Like, because it was like at first Matias was blocking. He was having his hands up a little bit. You know what I mean? He would take punches. He was moving his head, but he was blocking.
True.
But once he started getting grabbed and stuff like that, and he started getting into that sort of like inside game, his hands was down. I don't know because I don't know why.
You know where his hands was at. He looked like he had hands when he got hit with that, boy.
But look, Doc, rolling the tape back when he got hit with that piece, right? The 2-piece.
Yeah.
That was right after a break of a holding.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like, I didn't peep because like the second time around I peeped, I was like, oh wait.
Yeah.
That's how he got the space to crack him like that.
I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
Because I kept thinking, I'm like, why is Dalton smothering himself? Because he was piecing him up in the first round from distance. I'm like, why is he smothering himself? Like, this ain't working for him. But the clinch,
Yep.
The ref separated them. He
Yep.
came back and hit him with that.
Beep, beep. Gosh, Lee, boy. I couldn't believe it, bro. I had my mic off because I was just chilling and watching it, and I had it up for the homies and stuff. Ty and Irony and who else was it back there? Pat. Yeah, Pat. Oscar. I believe Oscar was there as well.
I think Oscar was.
Bro, I was shocked. I was mad I didn't go live, bro. I said, gosh, Lee, bro. I was not expect. Like, don't get me wrong, I knew Dalton. And shout out to Dalton because he believed in his power, you know, and we knew he had power. But boy, Subriel Matias, man. What do you think Matias goes from here, man? Where do you think he goes from here?
It's gonna go downhill from here, my boy.
I agree. I agree with you.
It's not. It don't get better.
No, sir.
It don't get better. Not with that style. It don't get better.
I agree. I agree, man.
We've seen it before. We saw it with Wilder. We've seen it with all these guys who go through wars, and it seems like the punches don't affect them as soon as they get hit. And that one land properly. Yeah.
I'm wary of that as well, man. I think that and like you said too, like he likes to get hit. Like that's his whole game plan. Is that like I don't know. It's just like he wants to. He believes he could take your hit and you can't take his, so he's willing to trade in exchange. But now, like you said, man, you could just reset him like Paro or clinch him and frustrate him and have him with his hands down, be undisciplined like Smith. That game plan out there, man. You got world-class fighters with world-class trainers, man. They're going to expose that, bro. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be very hard for him to bounce back. But I will say a fight that's still good, though. Matias and gosh dang Pitbull. that fight ain't going nowhere. He got at least one more banger in him. That fight ain't going nowhere. Everybody else, though, he might be in trouble, but.
It's a banger for real, but I think Pitbull might put him out.
I'm telling you, I'm going with Pitbull after Dalton Smith. But before I was like, man, I don't know. You know, I like Pitbull. Pitbull, he's always an entertaining fighter for me. But after Dalton Smith, I'm going with Pitbull. I wasn't sure before, but post Dalton Smith, I'm definitely going with Pitbull.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with Pitbull.
That's a crazy fight.
Yeah.
But overall though, that fight card was. To not have so many names, it was a bunch of good results in fights.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
I did too. It had what was his name? What's his name too? Super bantamweight. I believe he's Puerto Rican. Yeah, he is Puerto Rican. Emmanuel Rodriguez, he was on there. Yeah.
Oh, Rodriguez.
Yeah, I can't remember who he fought, but yeah, you're right. That was it was a very good card. For the like you said, for the lack of names and stuff like that. It was a good card, man. Man, I hope they can bounce back, man. Shout out to Fresh Promotions, man. You know. They put the house on it. They won the purse bid. They put the house. They hosted the fight. Put the house money on Subriel Matias, boy. And that thing, I don't know. You know, I'm rooting for them because I like the fact that they, you know, any person that bets on themselves, I'm kind of rocking with, you know. But I don't know if they could bounce. You think they could recover, man? You know, you lose a big promotion like this, you win the purse, but you put out a lot of money for this.
Isn't Cologne on there?
That's the thing. I don't know if is he their fighter? I don't know. That's a good question.
Because didn't he shout them out at the end of his fight?
I think he did. But I don't know if it was like a one-off or is that's his. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Keith Cologne is signed with. That's a good question. I don't know. He definitely shouted them out though. Post fight. So post fight.
So I mean, that's a good up and comer they could use to build. But
I like him too. He's pretty good. I like him. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on him, but I like him. What I see.
Yeah, he swing way too hard, bro. Yeah. That boy.
Yeah.
He don't take a punch off, do he?
Right. Hey, come on. Yeah, he put everything he got on it. That's why I like him. You know, what's he 4-0 now or something like? But yeah, I think I've seen all. I think I've seen all of his fights. To be honest, I think I've seen his debut too. So I've been watching him on the undercards and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen all of his fights. I like him, but I'm just like you said. You got to know when to take some sting off because you don't want to mess around and whiff one of those things and get countered, boy.
Yep. And you know what's going to happen next after this, right?
What's that?
Dalton about to end up in that Eddie Hearn PC, boy. He ain't leaving England, boy. I swear to God, he ain't leaving England.
Not at all. Like, shout out to Sheffield Pitt. Not Sheffield Pitt. Shout out to Anubis. He said Pueblo going to beat Smith. Now, that is his mandatory, so they say. I don't think that's happening, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm with Kendrick on that. I'd be super shocked if Dalton Smith fights Alberto Pueblo.
And it's not on Dalton. I think Dalton will do it. I think it's
right,
Eddie.
right. Right. Exactly. I don't see if Dalton fights. I can see. Let me know what you think about this. I could see if he's gonna take a risk like that. I could see him doing a unification because remember, Richard Hitchens just read up his membership.
Nah, he better stay the hell away.
Um,
And I heard that's fake. I heard that's cap.
yeah, it probably is. Well, I was just saying,
You know what I'm saying?
Eddie,
Like, he's not with Eddie.
Oh, really?
Eddie said that.
Oh, I missed that. I gotta say, I got tightened up. I missed that. I didn't know that. I thought he was
Yeah.
with Matchroom. I thought Keith Connolly and Rich Hitchens, they smoothed it over with old Eddie.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's what word was, but Eddie said we're not, you know what I mean, in talks.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he not getting these fights.
And that's
Makes more
why
sense.
we heard of Oscar Duarte, because I was like, because I was like, how did Eddie and Oscar make this gosh dang Oscar Duarte and Richard Hitchens fight? You can't, make no headway on gosh dang Boots and Vergil. So that would make sense, actually. I didn't know that. So appreciate that. I'm gonna look into that now. See how that transpired. But yeah, man. But if you ain't have anything else, man, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Todd, bro. I appreciate you. Holler at me in the PMs too, because okay, bet. Because I don't really, we'll talk.
I got you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
Shout out to my guy Kendrick, bro. Let me pull up my brother Bodega Ty. It's the last one, man. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. My guy Bodega Ty in the building on the Xbox, fired up. I see it. What's good, bro? Yo, there goes my guy right there. Yes. Oh, now you got a long, you know what I'm saying? I gave Oscar and Kendrick about like 5 or 6, so you got that.
I was about to say, because you pulled me back in 3.
Huh?
You pulled me back in 3.
When?
Like in 3 minutes, because you pulled me back up.
Oh, you said, can I pull you back up? Oh, sorry, my fault. I got you.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so my bad. Is Kendrick still there? Let's see what Kendrick's talking about. Kendrick, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, bet. Ty said he need 3 more minutes.
Oh.
What he got going on? What he got going on, man? Shout out to Separate Pay. He said Matias' defense was lacking, and that dummy just taking shots to look tough. Yeah, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I'm not saying that Matias is the most elusive fighter, but I just feel like when I see him fight, I feel like he takes more shots than he has to.
True, but I think that fight was a little different too.
Okay.
He was taking like it's one thing to take the punches, right, and roll with him a little bit. He wasn't rolling with a damn
Not
thing.
a tank, bro. Not a tank. You ever see Dodgeball? Remember that old movie Dodgeball? I think Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn and some other folks. Yeah. Andre 3000 might have been there. No, that was a basketball one.
No.
Okay. Yes. Semi-pro. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was talking. Yeah, with him and Andre 3000 and Will Ferrell. That's it. Thank you. But yeah, with Dodgeball, man. Remember when the dude was like, you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. And it's like this man Subriel Matias just get hit with wrenches, bro. It's like, bro, you not gonna move a little bit? Put your hands up, bro. Move to the left a little bit. Gosh, Lee, bro. Dalton Smith was pop.
Oscar said it the best, bro. He was in that McGee gym getting work.
Yep. Yep. Man. Shout out to like I said, shout out to Dalton Smith though, man. That fight. He did his thing, man. Because I used to talk about Dalton Smith, man, but I lost faith in him when he was talking about Adam Azim. Yeah, bro. I used to like Dalton Smith. I rock with him, but when he started after he beat Jose Zepeda and these other guys, and you calling out Adam Azim, bro. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, you supposed to be going for a belt.
But here's the thing with Dalton. He has maybe, I think he could beat, if he's going to unify, he needs to go against Gary Antoine.
Oh.
I think that's his best chance.
Yeah, that's his best chance.
Because the winner is Shakur and
T.O.
He don't do that.
Yeah, I think he beats.
Don't do that,
I think
boy.
he loses to both of those. Yeah,
don't do that, boy. But
I think Hitchens probably outboxes him too.
Yeah, I think Hitch is gonna keep him away with the jab and not really expose himself too much, and he might get frustrated.
That's a good point because Gary Antoine likes to mix it up, so that'd be his best bet. But I'm going with Gary on that though. But that's
How
a good
how you
fight,
think
though.
Gary wins?
I actually think it goes to decision, man.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I think a UD though. I don't think it's gonna be like a wash like it was against Rayo, but I see a UD. Maybe like 8-4.
I'll take Dalton only because
Mm,
Gary Antoine got them T-Rex arms, and Dalton ain't a small dude.
that's true. He's not a small dude. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes his way to 147. He definitely got the frame for it.
I was saying 154. He might end up at.
Oh yeah, you
That
think
boy big as hell.
he is? Yeah, he's not that. He's pretty young. He's like 26 too or something like that, right? He's not too.
Yeah, I was looking at him compared to Matias, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
154. Hey.
I can see him ending off there.
You know, I was reading something too about a lot of people. There's a lot of speculation about Dalton Smith potentially going to 147, fighting Liam Paro, or even fighting. Some people say they rather have him. I've seen a lot of English fans say this. UK fans say they'd rather have him fight the winner of Barrios and Garcia as opposed to Conor Ben. They like
would
Dalton
too.
a little
I ain't
more.
mad at that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either.
They don't deserve nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just selfishly would like to see some mix up at 140, man. I would like to see how he fares at
Me
140, because those are interesting fights, like you said, man. He might be, and no, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but I think that, I would personally, I'm with you. I would favor, well, besides the Gary Russell, but I would favor Hitchens and the winner of Shakur and Teofimo over him. And I would also favor Gary Russell over him. So for me, he would probably be, if I had to pick a weakest champion, not saying he's weak, but relative to the other ones, I would say he's the weakest.
This is style wise for me.
Yeah.
That's what Dalton gets the edge.
Hey, he could, like you say, Gary Russell, he be punching wide. He got the short arms. He like to come in with that head up sometimes too, and he might get bing bing.
He ain't untouchable. Puello was
Yeah,
piecing
this
his
ain't
ass
the
up.
amateurs.
That's a fact.
Oh yeah.
Nick
Go ahead,
Ty
Ty.
out there said they ain't the amateurs. Facts. What's good, my brother?
I was in the back listening, handling some business.
I know.
But yeah, Hitchens still on the outside looking at everybody because of his manager.
Keith Connolly out there. Damn. We got to get some good fights with Hitchens, man.
'Cause I heard that Hitchens agreed, but Keith and Eddie got something going on.
Ah. So when you say he agreed to the Matchroom re-sign. But Keith Connolly
Yeah, he was willing to go back there.
Right. That's so crazy how things could just flip. Because remember that picture that pictures don't mean everything, but had a picture with Keith Connolly, Eddie Hearn, Rich just posted up, man. Like, it was good. Well, them figures ain't line up.
The green wasn't green enough.
Come on now. Got to put more greenery in my scenery. Or I'm not going.
So I've been running around on these boxing streets last couple of days. You know, it was only a nickel bag of Austrian.
Just a nick.
I seen idiots saying, hey, that proves that Austrian didn't. No, bro. He ain't have enough in his system. He only had a nickel bag. Right? Y'all say he ain't pop dirty. He only had a nick. Well, he got his ass because he only had a nick.
Bro. People just, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. May I add to that? Bro, this man, I don't know who it is. I'm going to show you, though, because I'm so glad you brought that up. I responded to a guy on Twitter saying that same nonsense. I'm going to read it to you right here. I'm going to just read it. Some donkey. He says, this don't, because Devin Haney said cheaters never win, right? As a result of Dalton beating Subriel Matias. This guy says, this don't look good for you because everyone that was on Austrine has lost their fights. Matias, Amir Khan, etc. But Ryan whooped your ass. That proves Austrian don't win fights. Skill do. You got to go for that rematch because it's looking bleak for you, Debbie Debo. So I said, comparing under 0.085 nanograms per milliliter to over the limit by 60 times the amount at 6 nanograms per milliliter. Crazy face. I said, cheating doesn't mean an automatic win. I tell people this all the time. And I said, for example, I can let you cheat on a thermodynamics test. You could bring your auntie, your uncle, a cheat sheet. You still gonna fail. You could bring ChatGPT. You'll still fail. That doesn't mean that you didn't cheat because you failed. It just proves that you're a dumbass that cheats and still can't prosper. So I said, oh, also, Povetkin won with Osterine. Look it up. Povetkin had Osterine in his system when he beat the Habas, right? Right. So you could use...
And had a high amount.
And had a high amount. So you could use situations like Amir Khan that's advantageous for the stupid behind point, might I add, that you're trying to get across. Or you could really tell the truth and say that Osterine is a performance-enhancing drug. It's not an automatic win drug. It's not an AWD. It's a PED. So whether you win or lose, your performance is still enhanced. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. So even though Matias was still able to lose and he had a minuscule, actual trace amount, inconsequential amount, just because he was still able to lose does not mean that he didn't cheat. Just because Amir Khan wasn't able to beat Kell Brook doesn't mean that he didn't cheat, right? It just means that they didn't have enough in the system, or like Ty said, or it could mean that even with cheating, they still can't beat those guys. You see what I'm saying? So with Ryan Garcia, he had it in his system. So I don't care whether he won or lost, he still cheated. And because it initially looked like he won, then you cheated. And when you cheat, you are disqualified. So everybody hanging on to, oh, you still got whooped. It's a no contest because he cheated. It's like, I don't know, give me like Lance Armstrong. It doesn't matter that he won. Don't get me wrong, he wins a lot of races, but if you cheat, it doesn't matter if you came in first place, 100th place, or 11th place, whatever. The fact that you cheated, you're going to get the same results as far as a punishment. So let's not make it seem like, oh, you only get punished for winning and cheating. No, you get punished for cheating. It's not dependent. It's actually independent on the result. It's the result of the test, not the result of the fight. Fucking dumbass.
I think it's funny the examples he used. He used a guy that was slightly under the limit and a guy that was slightly over.
Yep.
One guy was allowed to fight because he was barely under the limit.
Yep.
The other one still got slapped with 2 years and it still is suspended to this day.
To this day. He got suspended for so long he decided to retire. He didn't put that part in there. So when Amir Khan decides to fight again, he still has to serve out that suspension. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. He got hit with that again because he tried to come out of retirement for a YouTube fighter. They told him no.
Come on now. Come on now. They don't know boxing like us, though. They just be talking. That's that fanboy stuff.
They try to get scientific with things that they read here and there on the internet, but all they proved was, in the case of Khan and Matias, maybe they didn't have enough for an effect, but clearly Ryan did, being that far over the limit. He had enough Oster in his system to share with Matias and Khan.
That's a fact.
And still have enough left over to have enhancing effect on himself.
Right.
That's the crazy part.
That's crazy, bro. Like, he was 60 times over the limit. I don't know if people realize what that means, bro. That means that he could literally give 59 other people an amount of Osterine that would be considered over the limit, or the same as the limit, rather. Like, when you put it in these terms, bro, it really lets you know how crazy it is. It's 0.1 nanograms per milliliter, 0.1. Ryan tested at 6 nanograms, 60 times above. That means he had enough in his system to be equal with the amount that's considered illegal to cancel the fight, according to New York State Athletic Commission. Him and 59 other mother freakers could cheat with the amount that he had in his system. Then you gonna compare it to a guy that was under the limit. Come on, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna understand that. All they understand is nickel bag, a half, a quarter, a 3-5, quarter pound, half a pound. That's all they understand.
Quarter pound, half a pound, whole pound. Hey.
These are the same people that sit there and be like, how can you overdose on a Tylenol? Nigga, you took the whole bottle.
People crazy, bro. People are crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up though, man, because yeah, that was a good perspective.
I do feel bad for Juan and Rango though.
Fresh promotions.
Yeah. Because you put everything on the line for this event. It looked good for some of your house fighters that you put on there. They had some good shows. I mean, good matches. But the guy you put your money on, he went out there and got cooked. Maybe you should have paid more for the rest of the Ostering.
That's crazy. You should have got the deluxe pack, the deluxe PED pack. Oh no. Come on, man. That's crazy. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy.
He was making fun of the snack pack and shit. Maybe you needed that.
Hey.
It was fun when Victor Conti was around and everybody was making fun of him. Maybe you needed his services so your man can get right the right way.
Right. You over here bull jiving. Now you on Matias left on his back. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm happy for Dalton Smith, man. But yeah, Juan Orango, excuse me. That's tough.
I said he got that block work. He had to pick out the sticks and stems and the seeds.
Yep.
Got that Reggie.
He had a little skinny bag.
Yep. Got the stemmies. He ain't got that ooh-wee. That's tough.
He had an old 05.
Oh, man.
Nick sack.
You feel me? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. 140-pound belt holder curse. Hey, that's a fact. Shout out to Oscar. Yeah, man. Them things moving like hot potatoes, man. Them guys staying belts at 140. Man, I Division 5. I ain't gonna lie. But fellas, man, I'm gonna go ahead and slide, man. Unless you want to add something else, I'm gonna go ahead and slide, bro. I gotta wake up early. Gotta get me some food.
Yeah, thing, man.
Shower, man. Y'all see your boy at his
I got some
backflip,
BS
though.
to add.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I see you.
Come on now. You see your boy.
You trying to be ISO speed now? Let me find out.
I gotta do something, man. I gotta get these numbers up. You feel me? Gosh dang.
Ennis.
Hey, bro, I'll tell you, bro, my toe's still messed up, bro. Oh my goodness. I gotta guys.
No, you damn near 40. You better stop.
You're right, exactly. You know, that was my motivating factor, though. I was like, bro, I always wanted to do a backflip, but just always put it off. I was like, man, it ain't gonna get no easier. So I might as well do it now, man. And I'm glad I got it, man. So yeah, bro. That just
hey, my back flip, I just don't move. That should just be hurting. That should be flipping and flopping.
Damn.
I feel it, bro. I feel it, man. That's funny as hell, man. Ty, you said you had something else to drop on us,
stick
bro?
to the stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Clear up some misinformation I seen being spread.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna say this person's name, but him and somebody that actually works with Matias, because he's a part of their team. He was out there doing part of the promotion and whatnot. They're claiming there was collusion.
Oh, here we go.
Against Matias.
Oh, here we go. Premature stoppage. It was a ref's fault now. Come on, dog.
Besides that, they allege that somehow Eddie Hearn, who had no help in the production of this event, somehow persuaded the New York Athletic Commission to swap out the judges. And with the ref. So there was some Puerto Rican collusion.
No, okay, yeah. All right. And this is why I said,
and then they said the ref wasn't Puerto Rican.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Because every champion has a referee that's their nationality. Jesus, that's what I be talking about, man. Like, that's why I was like, when the fight, I just wasn't excited for it, because I was just like, man, there's just too much nonsense gonna go down, man. If Matias wins, it's gonna Dalton Smith, and I'm not saying they shouldn't, rightfully so. Dalton Smith and Eddie Hearn, they're gonna say, oh well, we fought a PED drug cheat, you know. And if Matias lost, then it'll say, oh, you know, I was distracted from the allegations and the sabotaging of my test and all this stuff. Well, whatever. I ain't going. I'm not
So
going,
with the
man.
judges, once they're appointed, they can't be swapped out unless somebody has like a legitimate
Right, like
reason.
they can't show up or
And
something.
honestly, the B side would have no say in that.
That's just crazy.
So
It's always
that
something.
was Matias ref, well, Fresh Promotions ref,
Right.
who actually is Puerto Rican.
Right.
That was their show.
Right.
This wasn't a joint promotion. This was all Fresh Promotions. So that's Matias's guys. And the judges, they knew all ahead of time. So this sounds similar to the Amanda Serrano stuff.
Come
Another
on.
Puerto Rican boxer allegedly being robbed in New York on their own
Bro,
promotion
you know what's
with their own
crazy?
ref on their own show.
Talk to him. And you know what's crazy? There was another Puerto Rican boxer. It wasn't his show though. That talked about allegedly somebody having the raps tampered with. Berlanga. What's up with my Boricua brethren and sister, man? Y'all can't take L's, man. Come on, man. You know, shout out to all the, you know, all the
They
real
scared,
ones.
bro.
But come on, dog.
They don't. Telez let them down, bro. Now it's Matias and Xander.
Yeah, bro.
It's shaky,
Hey,
baby. I
Xander
don't know.
he got a lot on his back, man.
Yo, he got pressure.
I think Tellis is Cuban though, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, he is Cuban. You're
He's
right.
okay, man. You Jonas
Come on,
Tellis,
what that
right?
for the boss? Yeah, he Cuban.
Yeah, Cuban. But yeah, Xander got a lot of pressure, man. Shout out to my Puerto Rican brother and sister out there, but we can't. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it together, man.
Serrano been catching L's.
Serrano been catching. Hey, Oscar Collazo been holding it down. No shout out to Oscar Collazo, but that's a little ways. Nobody watched that.
It's only him down there, so is that
That's
really?
crazy.
I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but it's not really a feat when you're
Nah, bro.
I don't want to say talent pool, but your matchmaking pool consists of only 20 people
Yeah.
worldwide.
That man, Ty said it's only him down there.
So it's 19 other guys.
Oh man, don't do my boy like that, man.
I said there's 19 guys and they all got jobs.
Yep. 10 of them are over the age of 30.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta chill,
Let that
man. Put some respect on the Ring Magazine Unified Champion, man. Come on, man. That's crazy.
Look, they do that to Carissa all the time. They talk about the
Facts.
level of competition, who's
Facts.
available.
Facts.
But it's literally 20 guys ranked.
Facts. Jay Sharp, my brother, was good. Matias was knocked into suspended animation. Bro, he definitely froze, bro. That man was in. It's the slow-mo, you know. When you get hit in Fight Night, when it slow down. The problem is that Dalton Smith ain't slowed down, though. Super Matias slowed down, just made him easier to hit. That's crazy. But fellas, man, I'm going to go ahead and slide, though, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up. But like I said, we're going to get back on the regular schedule, man. I'm going to be honest. Wednesday, I'm not sure if I'll be there on Wednesday. I might have some things to do, but hopefully I will. But definitely Friday, good Lord willing, man. Appreciate y'all rocking for real, though, man. Kendrick, Ty, who else pulled up? Oscar. Appreciate y'all fellas, man. For real.
All right, Doc.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate y'all. Oh, yeah. So those of you that are new, those of you that missed the beginning of the stream, my schedule is not really changed. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're still doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. But we won't have a Wednesday morning show anymore at 10:30. We're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time all the time, right? I think it's a little easier to follow, too. So on one hand, it's a good thing. But the other hand, it's like, you know, we switched it up a little bit because you know, your boy got a new gig, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy working, doing his thing. So we got a new job for the new year. So my schedule's going to change. But we still going to, this is my dream. So we still going to work with this and we still going to keep it popping. So I appreciate y'all rocking and appreciate y'all patience. Yeah, that's why I was gone for a couple weeks because trying to get acclimated with the new schedule and make sure that, you know, things are popping. You feel me? So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for real. I'm gonna go ahead and slide. Don't forget to smack that like button. And yeah, man, keep rocking with your boy. Like the video, share the video. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all the socials. Matter of fact, we got an ad for that, don't we? Pull up the ad. For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And then also we have that. So check us up on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those good stuff and bonbons. That's free support. Shout out to all the members for the paid support. Shout out to the super chats. Shout out to the sticker from George the Last Patriot. You know what I'm saying? George the Last Dragonborn. Shout out to Ty for the renewal of the membership for the for the PhD in Boxing Talk. Shout out to Oscar for the renewal of his membership. Shout out to Oster for the gifted memberships. You see what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody that renews their membership when I'm off stream as well. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the members, shout out to all the chatters, shout out to everybody that likes in any capacity which you contribute. Shout out to you. And also to check out the newsletter, man. We have an ad for that too. Conveniently. So you can't get enough of the doc? Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry about it. You're not alone, but I do have a fix for you. Head over to docscorner.beehive.com where you can find all of the hottest news, the latest news, all real talk, no gimmicks, and no fluff. Right here at Doc's Corner, a newsletter written by yours truly. In order to sign up, all you have to do is enter your email here. But I will tell you, if your name is still long sweaty big balls at hotmail.com, you will not receive an email from me. Change it or you won't be getting this newsletter, bruh. I'm sorry. And it's delivered personally to you right in your inbox every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And always remember, the doctor's in your corner. Yep, so I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Jay Sharp, man. I appreciate y'all rocking. Oster said, I'll send it again. Okay, bet. And let me know in the Discord, man. You can always send it to me in the private message as well, Oster. I appreciate y'all rocking as always. Don't forget to smack that like button if you haven't done so already. But more importantly than that, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Catch you on Wednesday. Good Lord willing. Y'all be easy. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.